Breaking important stories impacting our community. Salina Post is also your home for live streaming local sports. Your 24/7 local news leader, salinapost.com.
Eagle Radio Salina is more than just your favorite radio stations. We are your creative partner for the web. We can craft digital marketing plans unique to your needs. Our creative team creates amazing digital ads for the web. We also,
if you can get a bunch of first downs and stack them up and then score a touchdown, that always makes the offense feel good. We got to play physical on defense. Be physical, do your job, and be physical. Those are the two most important things on our defense. And and if we do give a big play, because Minneapolis is very capable of having some big plays. We get big play, get them out of bounds, get them tackled so we can line up and play defense again, make them drive the football against us. I think it's a big deal. Special teams just don't make mistakes. We don't want to turn the ball over on something silly on special team and give Minneapolis a short field because we know they can be explosive.
Mitch Gebhardt, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans, entering his 15th season on campus here at SES. Coach, best of luck to you tonight and the entire season.
Yeah, thank you, Devin.
Back with more Trojan pregame after this here on KINA.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojan sports program.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey Trojans fans, this is Angela Gebhardt, proud wife of Southeast Saline head coach Mitch Gebhardt. Just like the Trojans strive for excellence on the field, the Bank of Tesket goes the extra mile to offer top-notch checking accounts that fit your style. Whether you're managing your day-to-day expenses or planning for the future, our checking accounts are easy, convenient, and tailored for you. Plus, with your local roots and friendly service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Go Trojans!
Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
Don't get caught on empty. Fill up on all your basic needs at Asaria Oil and Hardware. We want to be sure you are fueled up and ready for whatever may be around the corner, no matter what time of day. Now live at Asaria Oil and Hardware, 24/7 pumps. No matter what time of day or night, your gas and diesel tanks can rely on us. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Asaria Oil and Hardware, located in Asaria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
Suit up for your next Southeast of Saline game day with Trojan gear from Copyco. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more available off the rack or customized. At Copyco, they offer all the printing and custom apparel you need at the prices and fast turnaround you've come to expect over the last 30 years as your local hometown print shop. Whether you're a die-hard Trojan fan, a coach planning the next big event, or a business looking to sponsor the team, they've got everything you need to show your Southeast of Saline spirit. Copyco, more than just a copy center, a proud sponsor of Southeast of Saline.
This Friday night, your Southeast Trojans are hitting the field, and Hancock Chiropractic is proud to support your local athletes. At Hancock Chiropractic in Salina, they believe in keeping community strong and healthy, just like our athletes. Whether you're recovering from a tough game or looking to stay at your best, they're here to help you move better and feel better, because when our team wins, we all win. Call Hancock Chiropractic, 785-827-0354, or schedule online. Go Trojans, powered by Hancock Chiropractic, where health meets performance.
This has been Countdown to Kickoff. The opening kick is right around the corner.
It's about to get ugly.
Back to the stadium we go for Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back into Southeast of Saline. It's the campus here at the school. Steve Fritz Field is the place where we will have week number 1 high school football. It feels good to be back at the stadium. A few challenges here tonight at the stadium with the sound and with PA and with things like that. And it's sometimes you need a preseason, right, to kind of get things squared away. But we're shaking the rust off here at the stadium. We should have a good broadcast for you here on KINA. Also, live stream video provided on salinapost.com. You can go there and you can actually pick what game you want to watch tonight. You can watch this game with Southeast of Saline hosting Minneapolis. You can also watch Ellsworth at Sacred Heart, or you can watch the Battle for the Mayor's Cup in Salina with Salina Central and Salina South. Those all free of charge on salinapost.com. This game here tonight, a Friday night out at the stadium, brought to you by Phillips Seed Farms. They actually bought everybody's ticket tonight that came in the gate here to watch this game between Southeast of Saline and Minneapolis and Roscommon. We should have a good one. We have a Southeast of Saline team that has just suffered one loss over the last 4 years each. One loss at the end of the season is all they had. 10-1 last year. They're going to play a Minneapolis team to start the season that was 4-5 last year to get the season started. Other league games tonight, Ellsworth is at Sacred Heart, as I said. Lions at Beloit, and Republic County is at Troy. And what a beautiful night, right? 80 degrees here at kickoff. Northeast wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That temperature will go from 80 down to 70 by the end of this game. And we're looking forward to this game.
Yeah, a lot different than last year. You know, you look at the first couple games where, you know, it was 95, 100 degrees and, you know, just sweating. Had to take breaks to get the kids water. But a beautiful night tonight. A good week one. Get the bugs worked out. A good matchup between this Southeast team and Minneapolis. You know, you open up with a league opponent to start the season. So a lot of moving parts that we will talk about from last year to this year with this Southeast team.
One of the guys that we will showcase tonight and probably all season long is Tucker Thaxton, the senior receiver. He's a 3-year starter. He is out for the coin toss along with Evan Watkins and along with Grady Gebhardt. Those three are taking the coin toss right now for Southeast of Saline, who will be dressed in their purple tops tonight, white pants. Of course, that purple helmet with the white Trojan logo on the side. Minneapolis in some different-looking road uniforms, red pants, white tops, with a white helmet, blue M on the side as the Lions come in here under the direction of sixth-year head coach Tom Flax. So far, this series, as long as Mitch Gebhardt's been around here, it's 15 years now. As he enters his 15th season, he has done a really good job against Minneapolis. 8-2 in 10 matchups with the Lions. Last 3 matchups, last year was 60-6, 51-0 2 years ago, and then 3 years ago 50-0. So far this series, Coach Gebhardt has had his Trojans play against the Lions 10 total times, 8-2, and a combined score of 415-100. That in favor of Southeast of Saline. Southeast of Saline's Booster Club helps bring you this live broadcast of Trojan Athletics to help showcase exceptional student activities that build purple power. It's always a great day to be a Trojan. And athletics underway, right? We got cross country going yesterday. Volleyball's already been on the court, and catch up with Wade Castleman coming up at halftime and see how the runners for Southeast of Saline cross country did yesterday in Great Bend. Chris Cadle is your studio engineer as we get the referee kind of positioned here. A little confusion out in the middle of the field, but Southeast of Saline will receive to get this ball as they come over. They seem pretty excited about starting out with the football and their offense here, a chance to get out on the field after the opening kickoff.
Yeah, some other area games that we'll be watching, like Devin said, Ellsworth at Sacred Heart, Hanover at El Saline, Smith Center at Chapman, of course the Mayor's Cup in Salina, South versus Central, Mound Ridge at Bennington, Solomon at Rural Vista. Some good 2A matchups around the state in this class. Abilene traveling to Clay Center, where Southeast will go next week. Hoisington at Pratt. Hoisington, the team that ended this Southeast season last year. Lions at Beloit. Kingman at Chaparral. Haven at Hillsboro. Heston at Halstead. And then the perennial powerhouse the last couple years in Class 2A, Nemaha Central at home against Marysville.
This Trojan team will be interesting. Can't wait to get the season going, as it is always a fun time. But this Trojan team lost, of course, a lot of talent, as they always do from graduation year to year. But they have a solid senior class, and they have a very large, talented junior class that saw a lot of varsity playing time as sophomores. So we will get to see the 2024 edition of the Southeast of Saline Trojans here. Glad you could join us for football on a Friday night, as this game is presented by L&L Advisors, with 3 locations, 2 in Salina and 1 in downtown McPherson. It's Grady Gebhardt back deep for the Trojans. Alongside him will be Canyon Douglas, as Minneapolis is ready to kick it away. For the Lions, lending his foot to the ball to start this game will be Logan Haley. Haley is ready to go as he is going to kick towards the south end zone, where Douglas and Gebhardt await, and the 2024 football season is underway. High end-over-end kick. It'll be Gebhardt coming up to take it at the 18-yard line. He's going to angle left. Has a couple of blockers on the edge. Look out. 25-30, 35-40. To the midfield. 50. Horse collar tipped. Can't bring Grady down, but he is tackled as he crosses midfield, and he will get to the Minneapolis 40-yard line. A big return and good blocking up front as Gebhardt went from right to left and returned that football all the way to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that was set up by that whole front line, able to turn all the Minneapolis special teams into the inside of the field, and Grady was able to get on the outside. Kenyon Douglas picks up a great block to spring Grady.
New center Drew Weller will snap it to new quarterback Gannon Jacobson, his first varsity start for Gannon Jacobson, the junior. Here's Thaxton in motion. They'll turn, hand it to Gebhardt. Gebhardt straight up the gut. He's going to meet two defensive backs into the second level as he goes ahead to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on first down.
Zach Nelson coming up right there, it looked like, to try to make that tackle, and Grady just punishing him like we saw do a lot last year.
Quick tempo, here we go. Southeast already back, ready to go again. Second down and 3. Jacobson rolling out, right-hand side, has that ball cocked. He's going to throw down the sideline, and it's going to be picked off. Picked off at the 15-yard line. The first pass attempt for Southeast of Saline on a second down and 4 is intercepted by Minneapolis.
Looked like Mason Smith maybe right there coming over there, number 14 for the Lions. And that wasn't an easy interception there, Devin. He kind of had to lay out for that. Looked like Hopkins was trying to come open, dragging all the way down the field, and just unable to connect with him, but a great layout catch right there.
Owen Just, the veteran quarterback, his second year starting. He played all year last year on the varsity level as a sophomore for the Minneapolis Lions. Minneapolis trying to run, and it is swallowed up by the Purple People Eaters here on defense. It's a committee up front for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, Bryson Lippold, Drew Weller, Deacon Bear, Brody Chambers. This whole team, this whole defense back from last year. So, and you heard Coach Mitch Gebhardt talk about it. Deacon Bear is going to go both ways now, kind of taking in that leadership role. And this line is going to be impressive to watch up front.
It was a loss of 6 on that run for Minneapolis. Brings up second down and 16. And Southeast of Saline, nope, Minneapolis calls a timeout. Referee points both ways. He's going to go to Minneapolis, and we will keep it right here and talk about the start of this one. A big return by Gebhardt, then a good run by Grady of 7 yards. Second down and mid there for Southeast of Saline. It was a rollout play to the right-hand side, and Jacobson just threw into a crowd there. And Mason Smith comes up with the interception. And Mason Smith is a guy we're going to hear about all year long. He's really good. Had a good year last year for Minneapolis, and he's one of those returners on this Lions squad that you expect big things out of. I know Coach Flax made the comment to Tyler Henry earlier in the week that he has some skill players that are back with experience that he expects them to put up big numbers with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, and he's going to lead in that secondary, being that senior leader back there at 5'9". Not a very big guy, 152 pounds, but obviously can fly around the field right there, laying out for that interception. But I think you and I talked about it, Devin. We've talked the last couple weeks about this defense. What is this defense going to do to stand up to the defenses that have been here in the past? And right now on the first play, obviously it's only one play, but doing a great job dominating up front.
8 starters back on this defense. All of the people on this defense have starting experience, or at least playing experience. Here's a snap back. Minneapolis drops the football. It's on the turf. They're going to recover it. It went right through the hands that time of Owen Just. It was recovered by Minneapolis, but then they were stuck there by Mason Smith. He actually recovered the football. Deacon Bear, one of the first guys in for Southeast of Saline, and Minneapolis lost 3.
Yeah, Deacon Bear playing that inside, almost nose guard spot, and almost went untouched right there between 2 offensive linemen for Minneapolis. So if you're Minneapolis now, this is obviously not the start you want, 3rd and deep behind the sticks.
All the way back to the 8-yard line. It's 3rd down and 17 for Minneapolis. Here comes the blitz. Gebhardt right up the middle. They're going to pass it out to the right-hand side to Bull. He is going to be arrested immediately by Tucker Thaxton, escorted out of bounds at the 15-yard line. That's a yard short of the original line of scrimmage, and they will have 4th down and 11 coming up.
Yeah, great coverage right there by Southeast. Dropping back. Don't let anybody behind you. Let them catch that 6-7 yard pass. Break down. Tucker's able to make the tackle, and now it brings up 4th and 11 for Minneapolis.
Operating from their own 15-yard line.
They're set up to go for it.
They are set up to go for it here. Watch the quick kick. Nobody back deep here for Southeast. They're going to snap it back. Here is the quick kick. As Owen Just is going to angle it towards the right-hand sideline, it's going to take a bounce from Minneapolis and go out of bounds at about the 42-yard line, it looks like. as that was touched there. And Southeast of Saline dodges a bullet after their first turnover of the season. They get it right back after a punt situation and a big, big stand by that defense that we're going to talk about all season long and especially tonight after that series right there. So the offense back out on the field for the Trojans. Gannon Jacobson is your quarterback, along with Grady Gebhardt at tailback. He will have skill players around him like Tucker Thaxton, the senior, also Malachi Hopkins, the junior, another junior in Caden Berrigan, and the senior in Evan Watkins. Up front, Drew Weller is the new center. He's a junior. Right side returns Brody Chambers, a junior, Kendall Miniman, a senior. Two seniors on the left-hand side with Ian Nicholson and Deacon Bear. Here's the give to Douglas. He's sweeping to the right-hand side, past the line of scrimmage. Now he has 5, now he has 10. Bundled up there, he's going to plunge ahead to the 45-yard line. It is a gain for Kenyon Douglas on the keeper of 10.2 yards and a first down.
Yeah, good job right there by that offensive line to stretch out. As obviously they're going to look to go quick here.
Already back to the line of scrimmage here. It's at the 41-yard line. Here's Gebhardt dragging a Lion. He's going to go ahead for about 2. Second carry for Grady Gebhardt, 9 yards for him now. And he advanced the football to the 44-yard line. Just underway here at Southeast of Saline. We are scoreless, 9:27 left to go in the first quarter. Second down and 8 for the Trojans. 3 receivers on the left. Here's the read option play. Fake to Gebhardt. Jacobson takes off into the second level. He is cut down at the 30. After a big gain there, it's a gain of 15 on the first carry of the night for Gannon Jacobson.
And a lot of similarities between Daniel Kerr last year and Gannon Jacobson. Gannon maybe having a little more speed, but right there you see him hit the hole and was untouched for 8 yards.
Fast pace again, first down and 10 for Southeast. They go fake it to Douglas, now go to Gebhardt. Grady about 4 yards as he's going to make it just outside of the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Malachi Hopkins coming in for Caden Berrigan over there on far side receiver to bring up second down.
Second and 6 for Southeast of Saline. Ball to the 25-yard line, just outside of the 25. There's Douglas again in motion, and they're going to stop this one here. Procedure penalty here against Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, and I think motion man kind of hesitated, and then he waved him in motion, and then he went again. So that will be a false start. Set them back 5 yards to bring up second and 11 on their second drive of the game.
Got some new faces and some new places here on this offense. Even though Tucker Thaxton is a 3-year starter and he's back at receiver, he's playing inside now a lot of times. Coach Gebhardt moving him around and just trying to get the ball in his hands and make him dangerous wherever he can be. He's such a weapon. Jacobson comes back to the line of scrimmage after the penalty, moves him back to the 31-yard line. He wants to go deep. It's Thaxton down the left-hand side. Tucker has to chase this one out of bounds as it was too hot going towards the pylon on the front edge of the end zone. That'll bring up third down and 13.
And that play was disrupted by the cornerback, Zach Nelson there. Tucker tried to get out, and he got checked about 4 yards within that zone, kind of took him off balance. Gannon kind of had to double clutch that a little bit to get it up, kind of floated on the outside.
Third down and 13, ball sitting at the 31. They are in Lions territory here. Southeast of Saline trying to advance the chain. Sweep out to the right-hand side. Jacobson, he's going to throw it just through the outstretched arms of Evan Watkins, and that will be incomplete as well.
Another good defensive play. I'm impressed with his secondary, Devin, for Minneapolis, just flying around the football. Obviously a lot of speed around there. Just need to see Gannon kind of settle down a little bit. Obviously it's his first varsity start. You can imagine what's going through. Just got to settle down here and make a play.
2 receivers to the right. Jacobson goes that way. It's a throwback now to Gebhardt. Has a couple of blockers out in front of him, including Drew Weller, and Gebhardt is going to be met at the sideline. It'll be a turnover on downs for Southeast of Saline as Grady was only able to get to the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 7 and a turnover on downs here for Southeast of Saline. First completion in the passing game tonight for Southeast.
Yeah, 2 possessions, 2 turnovers, a turnover on downs, and that interception. But once again, Minneapolis stuck deep in their own territory, and now with this defense obviously is hungry out there. Minneapolis yet to be positive yards.
They'll take over here their second drive of the night at their own 25-yard line. First down and 10 for the Lions. They'll stack 3 receivers on the right-hand side. Just in trouble. Lippold dives after him. Now he gets out of trouble, throws it down the right-hand side, and a diving catch there for the Minneapolis Lions. Good effort at that football by Braylon Peters.
Yeah, Brayton Peters right there, just a great job to lay out for that. Kind of his quarterback got in trouble, and he just found that soft spot in the zone right there and worked back to him. That's what you want to see from a receiver. You want to see him work back when your quarterback's in trouble. Don't keep running down the field.
Brayton Peters, my apologies. First down and 10. Defensive line shifts right before the snap for southeast of Saline. Minneapolis is going to run it off the left-hand side. They will get a couple of yards there, but not a whole lot working over there on that left-hand side for Peters on the carry.
Yeah, defense doing a good job right there, just clogging up the middle, 4-on-5, and able to take on all 5 of those to free up those linebackers a little bit.
From the 33, second down and 8 after a gain of 2 on first down. Motion man in the slot on the right-hand side will go through. He'll carry it now, trying to stretch it to the field on the Minneapolis sideline. There's a flag down as the ball carrier this time, it is Zach Nelson, ends up at midfield and a first down, but we got to come back and chase the flag and see what that was in the Minneapolis offensive backfield.
Yeah, one of the southeast of Saline defenders absolutely went flying. I mean, he called a hold right there, but I think you could have called a block in the back as one of the linebackers was doing a swan dive over there towards the sideline. So a good job right there to string that out. You maybe would like to see him take a better angle over there in the secondary to not let him get up the field, but nonetheless, a penalty brings it back.
Holding on the lines will take the football back to the 28-yard line, where it will remain second down. But instead of second down and 10, it is second down and 20. Again, 2 receivers to the right. Bull is the lone receiver to the left. Owen Just rolling out. He meets Gebhardt. Now he goes back and he runs right in to Brody Chambers. He saw Grady Gebhardt on the right, tried to reverse field and turn back to the left, and when he did, he saw himself staring at a big 7 and a 5, and Brody Chambers ends that attempt for Owen Just.
Yeah, and those 2 up front did a phenomenal job pursuing the quarterback. But that handoff, the 2 receivers crossed out here, and Tucker Thaxton and Kenyon Douglas did a great job of swapping and communicating where he wanted to go. And if he would have let that ball go, it would have been intercepted.
Chambers with the first sack for southeast of Saline. Just now wants to throw a little screen, bubble type out to the left-hand side. It's going to be to Ethan Bull, and he's going to stretch it out and trying to reach towards the original line of scrimmage. He'll be drug out of bounds by a Trojan over there on that far Minneapolis sideline.
A similar spot that they were in third down before. You let them get that real soft coverage right there by Southeast, and a good job to come up and make that open field tackle.
14 yards that time. Just out to Ethan Bull. 21 yards so far for him. Here's a punt that goes straight up in the air, and it's going to bounce, and Minneapolis will down it there right around midfield, probably about the 45-yard line. Not a lot of wind tonight, as I said, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. It'll be consistent throughout the night as we drop about 10 degrees when the sun finishes setting, as it is in the process of right now. I want to remind you that the Gypsum Fall Festival is coming up October 19th. You get vendor fair, motorcycle show, inflatables, parade, and more. For more details on the October 19th Gypsum Fall Festival, go to the Facebook page of the Gypsum Valley Booster Club. Trojans take over. Home 46-yard line. They'll sweep it off to the right-hand side. Gebhardt ducks inside. Now he bounces back to the outside. He's down the right-hand sideline, has a first down or close to after a gain of 12.
Good patient run right there by Grady. He stretched that thing all the way out until he found the hole, planted that right foot, and the first contact was made well after the first down. So a great job once again by this offensive line and those wide receivers of freeing him up.
First down after the gain of 12. Advances the football back into Minneapolis territory at the 43-yard line. Shotgun back again for Jacobson. He'll turn to his left, change it to Gebhardt. Gebhardt was trying to follow Watkins through, but Evan Watkins got stymied there at the point of attack. Then Grady had to find another avenue, and there was just no daylight there. He still manages to get about a half a yard, but that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, and it's going to take, as we've seen really last year and then now towards this year, one guy is not going to bring down Grady Gebhardt, but if you're the offensive line, you got to look to get a little better push right there.
Here's the rollout. Jacobson to the left. He's going to put it in the air. A leaping Thaxton brings it down at the 26-yard line. Tucker Thaxton, as he is so accustomed to doing and to us seeing, goes up, plucks it out of the air, and gains 16 yards.
and you do your quarterback a favor there. Go up and plug that thing at the high point, get it down into your body, brace for the hit, exactly what he did right there.
He is a highlight waiting to happen. Empty backfield this time for the Trojans. End around Gebhardt. Wanted to stretch it to the right. He's going to plant the foot, cut it back up inside, spin off a defender, and be brought down finally just inside of the 20-yard line. Grady Gebhardt to the 19, and this is the first visit of the night for the Trojans in the Can-Equip Red Zone. Case IH. Of course, Can-Equip right now expanding as they are moving into Solomon right off I-70.
And Brody Chambers just checked in for Drew Weller. So another change up there is at that offensive line position.
Here's a pitch out. Gebhardt, left-hand side, has a tunnel, has two blockers, and he's going to score. Grady Gebhardt into the end zone. Will punch it in for the first score of the night for Southeast of Saline.
And that play right there on the outside, Grady did a great job of ringing it, got outside. Evan Watkins able to get the first block, and then Malachi Hopkins down the field getting his first real varsity action and start. Did a great job of turning that cornerback inside.
A 26-yard touchdown run by Grady Gebhardt gets the first touchdown of the season for Southeast. Now they'll go for two. Traditional formation here. Gebhardt on the left hip of Jacobson. Jacobson fakes it to him. Now he's going to turn, hand it off to Thaxton. Tucker Thaxton makes a step back, puts a guy down on his rear end, and he's going to score. Put the two-point conversion on the board, and we are off and running with our first points of the new season. 4:36 left to go first quarter. Trojans lead it 8-0 here on KINA.
Phillips Seed Farms is inviting you to a fun night at the stadium. Football is back this Friday as Minneapolis visits southeast of Saline. The game is sponsored by Phillips Seed Farms, and everyone's admission is covered. Whether you support the Lions or the Trojans, or just like great football, make your plans for the short trip to southeast of Saline this Friday night. It starts with a fried chicken tailgate at 5 o'clock. Game starts at 7, and Phillips Seed Farms has your ticket. Phillips Seed Farms, serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back. Devin Haney, Russ Kossel. We got our first touchdown on the board. It belongs to Southeast of Saline, who jumps out to an 8-0 lead. And you were talking and you were saying about the excellent blocking on that 26-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, those two outside guys, the receivers, you know, in this offense where you run a lot of jet sweeps, get outside the hashes, you are putting a lot of responsibility not only on your offensive line to stay your blocks long enough so the guy can get outside, but a lot of pressure on those guys out on the wide side of the field to get those blocks 8-9 yards down the field. But let's go back to that two-point conversion. There's a great end around coming around, and Brody Chambers came around and just buried who thought he was going to have an easy tackle.
Ready to tee it up here for Southeast of Saline. Malachi Hopkins, the junior, he's taking over for 3-year, almost 4-year kicker Wyatt Boyd, who was a senior last season. Hopkins, his first attempt here, has his right hand in the air, and the kick-off coverage team ready to go for Southeast of Saline. Hopkins will angle it over to the right-hand side. It's taken at the 15 for Mason Smith. He is right up the center of the field, has some room. There's a flag on the play. Smith still rolling, and he's going to make it to midfield, but now, of course, we've got to check the laundry once again. He's so electric. If this is a penalty on Minneapolis or not, boy, Mason Smith can really just kind of switch gears and go all over the place, can't he?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Offense, defense, now you see it on special teams. Kind of wherever he needs to be and wherever he's at, just making plays for this Minneapolis team. Is now another one appears that it's going to be called back here, and it's going to be a hold on Minneapolis on that return, but not what you want to see early. I know there's a penalty on it. You don't know what would have come of that if there wasn't holding, but not what you want to see from your first special teams unit kickoff, giving up a big return.
Your new career may be waiting for you at Salina Regional Health Center. They are hiring for all positions right now. To see a list of those positions and to apply, go to their website, srhc.com. Salina Regional, caring for you so you can care for others. That's the Salina Regional way. You can also call HR and talk to Tess Modrow. So the penalty on Minneapolis will start them back here at their own 25-yard line. Southeast defense back out onto the field. Here's the fake on the end around. Just will keep it, and he is smacked. Holy cow. He was trying to get around Killian Vaughn and ran right into Brody Chambers and Bryson Lippold. And that was a big, big hit. I was joking a little bit with Coach Gebhardt, Russ. I said, when I was going through my depth chart for Southeast of Saline, I got to the defensive side. I didn't have to replace a whole lot of guys. That's how many people they have coming back.
Yeah, and Bryson Lippold was one we talked about a lot on the air towards the end of the year last year, coming on strong and right there getting a guy low. I'm not sure if you're Owen Just, you want to take a lot of Brody Chambers hits just like that. 4
returning starters on the D-line. Lippold, Drew Weller, Deacon Bear, and Brody Chambers. And we will see a lot of guys rotate through there, too. Here comes a blitz. It's Gebhardt chasing Just. Just is in trouble, and he's going to lose the ball out of bounds. He went to throw it, and then Grady Gebhardt planted him out of bounds, and the ball incomplete out of bounds. There's a flag down on the far side.
Yeah, I think you're going to have – he was out of the pocket, but I don't know if the ball got back to the line of scrimmage. So that might be what the officials are talking about right here. I know it did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
It ended up in lane 3 of the track over there on the far side, getting ready to run the 200.
And I think it's going to be from the spot of the throw. So more than likely, this is going to come back to probably around the 15, 16-yard line if it is intentional grounding, and that's exactly what it is.
Good call, my friend. You don't need preseason. You're in mid-season form already. Let's finish going over that defense, though. With Lippold, Weller, Bear up front, Chambers. Your corner returns on one side with Thaxton. Malachi Hopkins has experience. He's on the other side. Then you go through the linebacking court, and this is where it gets scary for other teams, too. Killian Vaughn, Grady Gebhardt, both returners. Then you put Kenyon Douglas in there, and I know Kenyon Douglas is a guy that you and I talked about a lot because he got hurt last year in Game 3 and got cheated out of his sophomore season. But he was one of these youngsters that was really coming on early. Amarian Hollab also in there, and then, of course, Gannon Jacobson will return as your safety. Here's a big tackle out on the edge as Lippold, again, sticks Owen Just, who was coming around the corner, just looked at the window, and it looked wide open, like he was going to have some space there, but that ended very, very quickly.
Yeah, Bryson Lippold did a great job coming off that block. The defender had him and just had stronger hands, was able to throw the defender off and come off and make the tackle on Owen Just, who is not an easy person to bring down in the open field.
What's special about Lippold is you don't know if he's covering or coming to the ball. You don't know. Here's another kick, and it's going to be Jacobson back at the 47-yard line. He reverses direction, comes back to the left, has some space. He's at the 30, cuts it back again, gets to the 20. He is going to be a free pass into the end zone. Gannon Jacobson. He made a cut when he caught the football. He made a cut as he crossed the 35, and he finds himself in the end zone. It's the second Southeast of Saline touchdown of the night. Gannon Jacobson, that time from 53 yards away on the punt return.
Yeah, Ryan Myers thought he had the perfect angle until he didn't right there. Gannon Jacobson just gets to about the 30, 25-yard line, plants that left foot in, makes one cut up, and then another guy looked like he had an angle, and then here come Malachi Hopkins out of nowhere that almost ran down Gannon Jacobson to get in front of the defender.
Going for 2, traditional formation, couple of fakes. Jacobson hid that ball in his pocket, and he's going to walk it in. What an incredible play-action fake, and Mitch Gebhardt is pumped up. He's running out on the field, clapping his hands as the Trojans go up. 2:51 left to go first quarter, 16-0 Southeast of Saline. Football game tonight between Southeast and Minneapolis, presented by L&L Advisors.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at Salina Homes.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at Southeast of Saline, Southeast of Minneapolis. 2:51 left to go in the first quarter, 16-0. Of course, this game, live stream video you can watch paired with the radio broadcast on SalinaPost.com. That's presented by L&L Advisors.
One early score.
Already?
Got rolling into the first already.
Okay.
Over in Chapman. Smith Center taking on Chapman. Smith Center 8, Chapman 0. Looked like a turnover late on Chapman in their own territory, and Smith Center able to capitalize.
Chapman has to replace a good portion of their offense from a year ago. Southeast of Saline ready to kick it off. Boy, what an exchange there by the Southeast defense to their special teams. Gannon Jacobson, 53-yard punt return. Gets up off the bench now after relaxing for a moment, having some water. Hopkins is going to put this ball in the air. It's going to be taken at the 22-yard line. Here comes Zach Nelson back the other way, and he is going to be stopped at the 34. Decent little return there by Nelson on the shorter kick by Malachi. And here comes Minneapolis, who has managed not much tonight. They have 16 yards of offense so far. And this Trojan defense is as advertised so far. As Deacon Bear and company come out onto the field once again.
Offense has scored. Special teams has scored. There's only one team left that needs to get on the scoreboard.
You're foreshadowing here. First and 10, Minneapolis from their own 34-yard line. Quick screen out to the left. A flag will stop this play as it gets going.
And it's probably a good thing that was stopped because Kenyon Douglas had a bead and a read on that screen on the far side, and you're probably going to get a false start on Minneapolis.
Talk about this junior class that had a ton of playing time last year as sophomores. Gannon Jacobson is included in that on the defensive side of the ball. Remember, he could have had 12 interceptions last year. He was just always in the right place at the right time. He did end up with 3 interceptions on the season, but boy, he was just all over the place. Had a bunch of pass deflections.
It's one of those ones, that's why you're on defense, right?
Yeah. Well, let's hope not, but just a sophomore, though, last year. He was looking to break out here in his junior season on both sides of the ball. A penalty did go against Minneapolis. First down and 15 now. Owen Just wants to roll out. He's going to turn directions, and he throws this ball up past the line of scrimmage and out of bounds, once again almost to the track. He was being chased down that time by a couple of Trojans in hot pursuit. Brody Chambers was one of them, along with Drew Weller.
So what I've noticed early in this game is the secondary for Southeast really smart between the ears there. Kenyon Douglas went to go up and chase the quarterback down, saw 2 others chasing, dropped back and took that zone coverage on that front third of the field away and gave Owen just nowhere to throw the football. So a very, very good job, not only by the front, but the back half as well.
So after starting 3 for 3 in the passing game, Minneapolis is now 3 for 5. And the last 2 have looked like that. Here's a play-action fake. They're going to float it over the top, and this one's going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by Thaxton. They were passing it out here on the edge. Grant Rice, the junior, 6 foot tall, was the intended receiver. But Thaxton there with him, kind of chest to chest that time and didn't give a lot of space for that ball to fall into the receiver.
And really good makeup speed right there by Thaxton because he kind of fell for that just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but able to get back over there. He kind of taps himself on the helmet knowing, hey, if I'd have read that, I might have picked that off or not given Owen just anywhere to go with the ball.
How much fun has he been to just watch develop over the years? He was forced out there as a freshman, definitely as a sophomore, just out of necessity at the wide receiver spot, and then we just see him grow. He had a great year last year, looking for a big year this year. Deacon Bear looking for a quarterback sack. The quarterback somehow turns, finds a receiver, Ethan Bull in the middle of the field, and it's going to end up being a gain of about 3 yards for Minneapolis, but it was almost a loss of 30.
Yeah, that was a 15-yard pass play for a gain of 3 yards. Something different Southeast did right there, Devin. They've been going 4 up front. That time they spread it way out and just had 3, and Deacon Bear was outside the hashes with one hand in the ground and just went untouched. Not sure whether him or any of these 11 guys you want to leave untouched on the field.
Yeah, these guys are moving around, right? We kind of saw that start 2 years ago, and this punt is also really bad. The last one wasn't great and got returned for a touchdown. This one really bad, and it's going to end up being about a 5-yard kick. I couldn't see if that one got deflected or if it was just a bad kick.
Well,
but Southeast will take over here with very good field position at the Minneapolis 39-yard line.
And that's what you run into, right? You're doing the quick kick that, Owen Just kind of does it all back there, and you're really only 4 to 5 yards off, and you're asking your offensive line to hold them for, 2 seconds, and they haven't been able to do that all night.
Jacobson in the pistol this time. Gebhardt directly behind him. Here comes Grady. Angling off to the left-hand side. He's going to have a gain of 5. Boy, he gets there in a hurry, doesn't he?
Yeah, and when he sees the hole, foot in the ground, at max speed, and then his head's just on a swivel, and it's almost like he's looking for the next guy to run into when he has the ball.
452 yards on the ground on just 53 carries for Grady Gebhardt last year. Here's Grady again. Goes to the other side, right-hand side, steps out of an ankle tackle, now redirects himself, comes back to the hash mark, and he's going to plunge ahead inside of the 20-yard line. Once again, moves southeast of Saline. It's a first down for the Trojans, and once again, they punch their ticket inside of the Can-Equip red zone.
Yeah, and once again, Grant Rice thought he had a free shot until a pulling guard came over and ended that really fast for him. So a good job by the offensive line getting back into the Can-Equip red zone. Now you got to capitalize when you get this deep.
15 yards by Grady Gebhardt. He is knocking on the door of a Hyundai already. Here's Gebhardt, gets around a tackler. Could have been a 5-yard loss. Now he's into the second level of Minneapolis defense. What a great job that time by Gebhardt, avoiding the tackler in the backfield. Didn't want to give up the TFL, and he ends up with a gain of 7 instead of losing 4.
Yeah, just a very smart run. Kind of the little hezzy move right there, and then hits the hole and then gets 7 yards.
Almost looked like a coach's kid there, didn't he?
Almost.
From the 13, screen pass out to Thaxton. He gets through a diving tackler, now spins out of another would-be tackler, and he's going to be ran out of bounds at the 6. Thaxton again making incredible moves, and he's taken down at the 6-yard line after a gain of 6.
We're under 30 seconds to go here. 19 seconds now to go, and look for South. They're not going to take their foot off the gas here. They're getting one more play before the end of this quarter.
Caden Berrigan, one of the newcomers on the offense, splits out to the right-hand side with Thaxton in the slot on the same side. Trojans heavy to the right. They're going to run right up the middle. It is Gannon Jacobson again, getting it done with his legs as he dances into the end zone. Straight up the gut. Southeast of Saline scores with 2.2 seconds left on the clock here in the first period.
A very, very well put together drive right there, but the offensive line kind of carried them right there. You know, Grady did the smart running, waiting for blocks to come, but it all starts up front with this offensive line. And, you know, maybe not the biggest guys in the world, but, man, do they play hard.
Jacobson takes the shotgun. He's going to give it to Gebhardt. It's a speed sweep to the right-hand side, and Grady will outrun this Minneapolis defense to tally another 2 points. 24-0, 2.2 seconds left here in the first quarter. We'll be back with more Southeast of Saline football.
You looking for a local brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach right off Crawford and in the Central Mall Salina and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Southeast of Saline getting it going, as they say. And what the impressive thing about this is, Russ, we have not called but maybe 2 or 3 plays on the right-hand side, the south side of the 50-yard line. Everything has been on the Southeast of Saline scoring side of the field.
Yeah, and sustaining drives and not a lot of plays on any drive. That was a 5-yard or a 5-play drive right there to capitalize that one off.
Started out, first pass play was an interception, and now Southeast of Saline has recovered very nicely from that. 24-0 Trojans. Hopkins ready to kick it off once again, his 3rd kickoff of the night. Couple of Lions back deep between the 15 and 20-yard line. This kick will be a sidewinder, and it will be taken back at the 15-yard line. Zach Nelson trying to shake off a couple of would-be tacklers, but he cannot, and he will be spotted down just about the 25-yard line where the Lions will come out to start the second quarter. We'll step away, get a breather, and come back. 24-0, Southeast of Saline leads it after 1. Back with more Southeast Trojan football presented by L&L Advisors after this.
Weather conditions are just right. You need to bale as much as you can, as fast as you can, all while putting up the highest quality product possible. Case IH round balers have the reputation as the hardest working balers in the business to consistently build dense bales with square shoulders that don't sag. No matter the crop or field condition, bale more with Case IH round balers. With easier maintenance and serviceability, you'll spend more time where it counts. In the field, baling hay. Ready to build a better bale? Contact Can-Equip in Solomon.
When it rains, it pours. farmers, so it's important for you to get coverage that meets your needs. The team at Kniper Agency with Farmers Insurance can help you understand your options so you can prepare for what the forecast brings. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Learn more by calling Stephanie, Morgan, or Tiffany at the Kniper Agency at 825-8419 to find out how they can help you protect the things that matter most to you.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Look at our quarter scoring. All southeast of Saline as we get ready to start second quarter. Back in the first quarter, our scoring, 3 touchdowns for the Trojans. Grady Gebhardt, a 26-yard touchdown run. A punt return of 53 yards for a touchdown by Gannon Jacobson. And Gannon Jacobson, a 2-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversions good on all 3 of those touchdowns. That scoring recap brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Here's a sweep by Minneapolis, attempting the left-hand side. They're going to lose a yard. As coming in to make that tackle off the edge was Kenyon Douglas.
Yeah, Kenyon did a great job right there of getting off the block once again and coming over there and just kind of checking scores right now. Don't really have any area ones to update, but a lot of zeros on the board. Not a lot of scoring going on in the first quarter around the state of Kansas.
We don't have that problem.
Not here.
From the 24 now, second down and 11 for Minneapolis. Lions running it off the right-hand side, and this one going to be ended early as well. It's a loss of 3 as Mason Smith swallowed up. And I have a feeling I'm going to say this a lot this year, by the front 4. Lippold, Weller, Bear, Chambers.
Yeah, they're lining up really in that traditional 3-down lineman, but like you said, Lippold's kind of going on both sides of the field, and you never really know if he's blitzing or going to drop back into coverage, and maybe he's just put in that spot to read and see what's going on, but obviously right now whatever's working is working.
Well, even Bear, look at Deacon Bear right now. He is split all the way out on the left-hand side, like probably 15 yards off the ball. Here's Just back to throw, steps up in the pocket, wrapped up and thrown down from behind as Drew Weller comes calling for the second quarterback sack of the night.
3-man rush, like you said. Drew Weller coming in there. You talk about Deacon Bear being split out. They also, on that one, had Drew Weller split out. And him and Brody Chambers are kind of switching a little bit of who's going to be in the middle. 2 plays ago, Brody was on the outside. And now Brody appears. I mean, they change every time. They wait till they come to the line of scrimmage because right now Deacon Bear's over the nose of the ball. And a play ago, he was almost out by the cows out there on the far east side.
If you count the grounding penalty as a sack for Gebhardt, that's the 3rd quarterback sack for the Trojan defense so far this evening. Just rolling out, 4th down and 13. He's going to throw it down the field. It is dropped. That ball was a well-delivered football by Owen Just, and the play just couldn't be made on the back end. Would have been a first down. Malachi Hopkins there on coverage for southeast of Saline might have popped it free.
Yeah, Mason Smith kind of let that one get into his chest a little bit. You know, get your hands out. He was open, ran a great route, came back to the ball. But as a receiver, you got to get your hands out and trap that thing out there before it gets into your chest because once it bounces off your shoulder pads, it's no telling where it's going to go.
That's going to create a short field here for the Trojan offense who will take over now at the Minneapolis 23-yard line. Sun is completely down now as we'll work our way towards darkness here. Early on second quarter, Trojans leading 24-0. Jacobson fakes it to Gebhardt. Quick slant through the middle, and it's tucked away. Boy, Kenyon Douglas had his hands on that football, Russ, but it was knocked away. Nice play there by the Minneapolis secondary.
Yeah, Brayton Peters did a good job of reading that and coming up. Gannon thought he had a surefire touchdown right there, and he came up and just made the pass, and that's what you want to see. Maybe let the receiver get behind the coverage right there, as now he's going to get into these reads and be able to progress as he goes through the season.
Killian Vaughn in at center now as they put Weller over at right guard. Here's Gebhardt left-hand side. He's looking down the sideline, reaching towards the pylon, and it's going to be a touchdown for southeast of Saline. 23 yards away, Grady Gebhardt to the sideline, reaching to the pylon. He gets his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And not only is Grady getting to the corner, Thaxton's getting to the corner. Anybody gets to the corner. How about the overall speed of all 11 on the field? You got offensive linemen 15 yards down the field lead blocking.
Ready to go for 2 again. Thaxton trying to string it out left-hand side, and he is going to be stopped about 2 yards shy, I should say, of the pylon. And that's the first 2-point conversion that has not been converted tonight. So another timeout. Southeast of Saline continues to roll, led by their defense. The offense, though, catching up to the battle as well. 9:46 left to go here in the second period. Trojans lead at 30-0 on KINA.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
23-yard touchdown run by junior Grady Gephardt, and that time they had Killian Vaughn at center. They took Drew Weller, who was playing center, moved him over to right guard. Brody Chambers came out of the game and was actually resting that time, but it was on the left-hand side that they went and ran behind Deacon Bear and Ian Nicholson, where Grady Gephardt was able to run in from 23 yards away. Grady looks like he has a different gear this season, does he not?
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's kind of what I noticed. You know, last year when we saw him, he's sniffing the middle of the field. He's hunting contact. Now you see that different aspect of Grady's game as he gets a year older, a little bit faster. Now he can turn the corner on the outside and outrun guys.
Malachi ready to kick it away. Hopkins has his right hand in the air. And he'll approach the football and kick it away. Angling over to the right-hand sideline. It's going to bounce and die there. Boy, Minneapolis better get on that. It's a loose ball. It's a scrum for it at the 25-yard line. A couple of purple jerseys come diving in. Coach Gephardt right there on top of it. He slaps his hands together. He thought they had one there as Killian Vaughn was diving in on the bottom of the pile. But it's going to remain Minneapolis football at their own 25.
Yeah, Brayton Peters once again making a heads-up play, come flying in there, laying it out to get that football. But what a well-placed ball by Malachi Hopkins right there to drop that right behind the up man and takes a bounce back towards Southeast on the kicking team. Really put that returner in a bad spot right there.
Well, that's what we always talked about, too, with Wyatt Boyd. He was really good at that. It's not how hard you can kick the ball, it's placement. Owen Just, as his line offense back out on the field, they're just looking for something positive here, as they will go with two wide receivers to the right. Just wants to throw, quick screen out that way. Completion to Joseph Wool, and Wool will take it ahead across the 35-yard line to the 36, and a first down on a gain of 11.
Yeah, Southeast in that soft coverage, but once again, defensive line switching up. Deacon Bear lined up at nose guard there. It looked like Weller was on the one outside and Brody Chambers is on the other, so really just changing around right there, but a good job to run that down. But finally a positive play for this Minneapolis offense.
9:19 left to go here, second quarter. Remember, we'll talk to Wade Castleman at halftime, catch up on Southeast of Saline cross country. First down and 10 here for Minneapolis. From the 36, long stare over to the sideline, and Minneapolis is going to call a timeout. We'll take it as well. We'll step aside, take a 30-second break. 9:06 left to go here in the second period. 30-0. Southeast of Saline in control early on KINA.
Don't get caught on empty. Fill up on all your basic needs at Asaria Oil and Hardware. We want to be sure you are fueled up and ready for whatever may be around the corner, no matter what time of day. Now live at Asaria Oil and Hardware, 24/7 pumps. No matter what time of day or night, your gas and diesel tanks can rely on us. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Asaria Oil and Hardware, located in Asaria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Football on KINA.
Back here on the campus of Southeast of Saline, it's a Friday night out for the community. Sponsored by Phillips Seed Farms. Fine folks at Phillips Seed Farms got in their pockets and they said, hey, we'll come to the game tonight, we'll buy your ticket. Stands full, of course, on the southeast side. Very good crowd from Minneapolis that made the trip for this first game of the season. You can find out more about what Phillips Seed Farms does by visiting their website or their Facebook page. They also have a great presence on Twitter or X as well. First down and 10 for Minneapolis. After a pass play that gained 11, they're going to have this little kind of a middle of the field screen there. That went to Brayton Peters, and that is going to lose a yard.
Well, they wanted to go outside to Mason Smith, I believe, right there, but Tucker Thaxton kind of jumped that route, read it really well, kind of moved up from that soft coverage spot as now you got Thaxton at one corner and Malachi Hopkins on the far side of the field.
That'll put him back at the 35-yard line. We'll come back to the line of scrimmage here now, 2nd down and 11. 2 receivers split to the right. There's a motion man in Peters. The snap to just a little bit high. He's going to fire it over the middle of the field. It's a good catch and close to a first down. It's going to be about a half a yard short here for Minneapolis as Joseph Wohl made another great grab for 10 yards.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with these Lions receivers doing a good job. Owen Justin, a lot of trouble every time he drops back. And the receivers are doing a good job of flowing to the ball when they see him in trouble, coming back to the ball and just kind of sitting down in that open spot. And a good job right there by the Lions receiver.
3rd down and about 2 footballs here for Minneapolis as they are pushing it towards the middle of the field. Fake of a screen out. Now they go quick slant over the middle of the field. It's going to be caught once again. Peters with it, and he's going to be off to the races. Thaxton was trying to track him down, but he got grabbed from behind, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Lions. Boy, a quick slant that pays off big dividends here for Minneapolis as Owen Just able to connect with Brayton Peters, who goes the distance.
And it looked like right there it might have been Amarian Hollab right there, kind of fell for that pump fake. Owen Just did a great job of pump faking, drew the linebacker outside. Peters did a good job of getting over to the middle of the field and then breaking one tackle and then outrunning this fast team as now Minneapolis is going to set up to kick the extra point.
65 yards on that touchdown pitch and catch for Minneapolis. Extra point is up. Grady Gebhardt was in there to block it. The ball still goes through the uprights. I'm not sure how Grady missed that one. So the kick is good by Hunter Milam, and the first score on the board for Minneapolis. It comes with 7:34 left to go as we take another break. Trojans leading it over the Lions, 30-7 on KINA.
Your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor is running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Chris Cadle is producing and engineering tonight's Southeast of Saline football game along with me. My name's Devin Haney. Of course, Russ Kossel alongside. Brian Dennett providing live stream video. You can watch this game anytime on demand. SalinaPost.com or go to YouTube's Salina Post Sports YouTube page. Trojans leading at 30-7 as we are midway through the second quarter. Minneapolis just got on the board for the first time, a 65-yard touchdown pass, Owen Just to Brayton Peters. So now Minneapolis ready to kick it away to the Trojans, as we will get to see Southeast of Saline's return team and then potentially offense once again. What a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, just to mention it earlier, you know, low 80s dropping into the 70s. It's almost like fall weather early. Then we had much earlier than we had last year.
Yeah, the first month of the season last year was pretty hot. Here's Kenyon Douglas. He'll take it back at the 13-yard line, angling right now. He's past the 20, 25, 30. Here's Kenyon Douglas at the midfield, to the 50, to the 40. Shakes off a tackler and gets ran out of bounds at the 30-yard line. They're going to spot him out at the 32, but Kenyon Douglas took that football from the 15-yard line all the way across the middle of the field and finally got ran out of bounds at the 32.
Yeah, great return right there, but give credit where it's due. Logan Haley taking a great angle from Minneapolis, and that's not easy to do. Logan Haley, 5'10", 227 pounds, giving everything he had right there to get around and make that tackle, and now we got some shifts on the offensive line.
So another short field here for Southeast of Saline. Here's Jacobson. Drops back, lets one rip down the middle of the field, and it's going to be picked off. Gannon Jacobson going towards a receiver down the middle of the field. It was Tucker Thaxton coming off the left-hand side, and that defensive back four, Minneapolis played it perfect. Mason Smith again.
He read that perfectly. It was a double move on the outside, kind of a corner post by Thaxton. A good thrown ball right there by Gannon, but I think on that one you either got to get it way out in front to only give your guy a shot or have it go out the back of the end zone. But Mason Smith having a great game in the secondary for the passing coverage for Minneapolis.
He was with Thaxton step for step that time, was able to take it away. From the 20, after the touchback in the end zone, after the Smith interception, Minneapolis will start again. Trying to get some momentum rolling here. Just puts it right back into the middle of the field that time, into the hands of intended receiver, Brayton Peters. Peters couldn't hold on to that one. There was pressure bearing down from behind. Coming in on Owen Just once again. That time by defensive end to Deacon Bear.
Yeah,
he continues to move around.
They're moving around all over the place. But what I see right now, early on, obviously the first game of the year, the first half of the year, the middle of the field seems to be where Minneapolis is finding their openings in the passing game.
2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Just will keep this one himself, following a blocker through. He's going to run into Grady Gebhardt, and Gebhardt will fold him up there after a 5-yard gain.
Good run by Owen Just right there. Got through. Good block on that left-hand side of the offensive line. Was able to get 3 or 4 yards before contact, but not going to get much yards after contact, especially with number 30 up the middle for Southeast.
3rd down and 5 from the 25-yard line. Minneapolis this time will go 4 wide receivers. 3 of them on the right-hand side. Just back to pass, has an opening. He'll leave the pocket looking for the first down. He has it, now runs towards the sideline, and he'll get knocked out of bounds there. He wanted out of bounds pretty bad anyway. And he will be ran out at about the 33. That's a gain of 8. He needed 5. So Owen Just gets some of his negative yardage back that he had earlier in this game. 4 carries now, back to 0 on yardage. He suffered a couple of negative plays early on in this game. Line of scrimmage now at the 33-yard line. Minneapolis starting to settle in here a little bit after falling behind 30-0 early on here in this game. 3 receivers on the right-hand side. Just as I say that, Just bobbles the snap. It was a little bit high, and Southeast of Saline comes crashing in on him. Canyon Douglas, Killian Vaughn in there. Also Weller, and they're going to put Just all the way back to the 25. It's a loss of 8.
And I don't think he was going to go anywhere with that, even if that doesn't happen. A good job right there by the Southeast defense.
2nd down and 18 now for Minneapolis. 2 receivers again go to the right-hand side. A tight end in a 3-point stance and a receiver on the left, the short side of the field for the Lions. Just screen play, receiver falling down. Douglas there immediately on coverage as that ball skips off the turf and incomplete. 8 of 14 in the passing game so far for junior quarterback Owen Just, his 2nd year starting for the Lions. They will have 3rd down and a mile here from their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, similar situation that Minneapolis has been in most of this game, playing well behind the sticks.
Long time in the huddle here. Play clock down to 8. Minneapolis will come out. They may not get this one off. Play clock down to 2. Play clock down to 1, and it's on 0. Officials didn't see it. Just is going to get sacked. He's throwing the football as he falls down. They're going to call this incomplete. I don't know how that wasn't a sack for Minneapolis.
Well, there's also a flag down. The white hat threw a flag down there in the field, so I wonder if you're going to get intentional grounding possibly right here.
Well, that play should have never happened anyway because the play clock set on 0 for a good 2 count.
Well, yeah, and he was down when he threw the ball, almost both knees on the ground right there, but Now it looks like they picked up the flag. Yeah, they're going to wave the flag off.
And call it an incomplete pass. Interesting. So it'll be 4th down and a country mile, as they say. I don't know who they are, but I heard somebody say it.
Not me.
Minneapolis in this area of the field here in this quarter went for it. I don't know if they have those intentions now or not. It's from the 19-yard line, and Just will have that quick kick again. Jacobson calling for a fair catch back at the 42-yard line, and he will have it. So Southeast of Saline will have it back. Their defense stands once again. 5:33 left to go here in the second quarter. 30-7 for Southeast of Saline's a lead of 23 points. Stick with us at halftime. We'll catch up with Wade Castleman. Talk Southeast of Saline cross country. We'll also have Mitch Gebhardt join us right before he heads to the locker room at half. And we'll also check the Bennington Bank scoreboard. Chance to catch up on area scores. First down for Southeast of Saline here at midfield. They're at their own 47-yard line. Jacobson gives it to Gebhardt. Gebhardt breaks a tackle, and he is going to dance all by himself. 30 yards in front of him, and it takes no time. Grady Gebhardt ran through a defensive back in the Minneapolis secondary, and he is in the end zone for the 3rd time here in this first half.
Gebhardt getting the trifecta, but I think that touchdown's got to go to the offensive line. A great job right there of clearing holes. Grady not touched till he was 15 yards down the field. Broke the tackle, and Brody Chambers helped 2 guys up that he took down on that one play.
Back-to-back carries for touchdowns for Grady Gebhardt. This one comes with 5:24 remaining in the second quarter. This time, Southeast of Saline will set up the swinging gate. Jacobson and Lippold. The snap goes back to the left to Gebhardt. He's going to run it off that left-hand side, and he is going to score. 2-point conversion run for Grady Gebhardt. That's his second 2-point conversion of the night. And Southeast of Saline extends their lead 38-7. 5:24 left to play here in the second quarter. Southeast of Saline football brought to you by L&L Advisors.
For the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9 in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Grady Gebhardt gets his 3rd touchdown run of the night. This one from 53 yards away. It comes on first down. And not a lot of effort there for Grady Gebhardt. He broke a tackle in the middle of the field as he got into the second level, but had a huge hole created by this offensive line for Southeast of Saline up front. And that probably one of the easier carries Grady's going to have all year long, as he was able to run in from 53 yards away. Brings our count now to 38-7. 5:24 left to play here in the second quarter. Check all those area scores coming up at halftime as scores start to roll in, and we check them at the break.
Pratt 8, Hoisington 3 at the half.
Okay. Interesting game there. Of course, Hoisington was the team that beat Southeast of Saline in the quarterfinals last year in Class 3A. 49-42 was that score. The one loss that Southeast suffered a year ago. Here's a kick. It's going to bounce again. Kind of in a trouble spot there, and this time Ethan Bull is ready to pick it up for Minneapolis, and he saves the possession there for the Lions, and they will come out and take over at the 32-yard line. There's some guys running down on special teams right now, Russ, covering these kicks for Southeast of Saline that, boy, they are on a mission.
Yeah, I may or may not have taken a step back from the sideline right there as they come flying down the field. But once again, Hopkins does a great job of placing that ball, right outside the numbers, but keeps it in bounds.
From the 32, the Lions, with 5:22 on the clock, have a new possession here and a first down. 3 receivers on the right-hand side. Defensive line shift for Southeast of Saline. Here comes Smith in motion, and he is upended. They're waiting on him immediately. After he got the handoff was Deacon Bear. That is going to be a loss all the way back to the 26-yard line. It's a loss of 6.
Yeah, Deacon almost could have took the handoff right there. Once again, coming up the middle, and only 3 down linemen. Very impressed so far with this defensive line.
Moves the line of scrimmage now back to the 26-yard line for Minneapolis. Another negative play in the rushing game. 2nd down and 16. 2 backs in the backfield this time. They also have a slot back. One of those backs in the backfield, though, will leave. Pump fake, left-hand side. Official's going to blow this one dead. Procedure this time for Minneapolis. That will cost them another 5 yards and now move them back to the 21-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 21.
Yeah, it did. 2 receivers over here on the near side, both moving at the same time and never got set.
So they'll move Minneapolis back again. Don't forget, we're not that far away. About 3 weeks, really. Less than a month for the Zombie Expedition that goes on at Elite Sports Paintball Field. Jake and the whole crew, boy, they put on such a great show, and it's an interactive ride through a zombie apocalypse. They're able to shoot zombies with paintball guns. It's a great time. If you've never done it, make sure you do. Of course, if you have done it, you know you're going back up to Elite Sports Paintball Complex for the Zombie Expedition. Here's a Minneapolis run to the right-hand side. That will go nowhere. And it'll come up 3rd down now, 3rd and 21 from the 21-yard line for Minneapolis.
Yeah, Weller did a good job right there of getting underneath the block and able to get kind of underneath the outstretched arms of the center right there and able to corral him right there for no gain. So a good job right there by Weller getting through. Whoever's playing nose guard, Devin, is just having a day right now.
Yeah, and it's been different people. As we say, that's just a continuing rotating carousel right now. Look at the defensive line right now. It's wide open up the middle. Weller and Bear took wide splits that time. Just rolls out to the right. Now he reverses field, comes back to the left, wants to throw it. He's hit as he throws, and this ball's going to be broken up at the last moment. It was intended that time for Joseph Wall, and coming in at the last moment from his safety spot was Gannon Jacobson. Thaxton was already there on coverage, but Jacobson came in like a wrecking ball and knocked that one away.
Yeah, textbook coverage right there by the safety, Gannon Jacobson, to come flying over, high point that ball, go over the top of the receiver, not through him, and bat that one down to bring up 4th, as you would say, a country mile again.
4th down and 21 for Minneapolis. They're going to go more to a traditional punt set this time and actually have a punter on the field. Jacobson will take this at the 48. Angles to the right, crosses midfield, gets inside of the 45 to the 44, and a gain of 8 on the return, and another start at midfield here for Southeast of Saline on offense. So Southeast of Saline will have it here starting out with their line of scrimmage at the 44. 3:32 left to go here in this second quarter. It's been a dominating performance here in game number 1 for Southeast of Saline. Of course, we'll hear from Mitch Gebhardt as he heads into the locker room here at halftime on the field. Jacobson, a little bubble screen out to the left, and a flag comes in as a hit is delivered on the left-hand side. They got Thaxton out there. It's going to be a loss of 3 if the play stands, but the flag at the line of scrimmage here, and they're going to say it's holding against Southeast of Saline. Hasn't been a lot of penalties on Southeast tonight, Russ, but that one, they're on their offense trying to set up that screen.
Yeah, that might have been maybe the first or second, less than 5 for sure, penalty on Southeast, but that play happened in about 1.5 seconds. So tough spot right there to be put in to get called for holding.
So they'll back the Trojans up now to the 46-yard line. Still 1st down as they go from one side of the field to the other side of the 50. 2 receivers in tight. Now Thaxton will join him. It's a power sweep to the left-hand side. Thaxton looking for some space. Now he bounces it back out, still looking for that sideline, and he is going to run out of space over there on the Minneapolis side of the field. It'll still gain 2 yards, but after that penalty now, it'll bring up 2nd down and 18.
And maybe the best defensive play besides the interceptions for Minneapolis on a run play to string that thing all the way outside. Thaxton really nowhere to go, just ran out of real estate.
Clock continues to roll down here inside 3 minutes now left to go. 2:53 left to play in the second quarter. 2nd down and 18. 2 receivers to the right. As Jacobson looks over to the sideline. Now he takes the face mask high snap, gives it to Gebhardt. Gebhardt up the middle again. Here goes that wrecking ball. And Gebhardt back across the original line of scrimmage. He's going to make it to the 42-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 10 for Grady Gebhardt.
And we've seen Grady do really a lot tonight that we haven't seen him do before. You know, a lot of patient running, waiting for the holes. We see him hitting the holes hard in open field, but not that really bowling ball that we've seen and came accustomed to.
3rd down and 7, Southeast. Jacobson rolling out to the right-hand side. Now he tucks it, wants to run, meets up with a Lion defender at about the 33-yard line, and he will be taken down there. A gain of 8 and a 1st down for Southeast of Saline. They needed 7. Jacobson gave them 8 in the rushing game.
Yeah, that was a very good job gaining. Knew where the sticks were at, could have ran out of bounds, kind of lowered that shoulder and was able to get that 1st down.
To the 33. Southeast of Saline gets a new set of downs inside 2 minutes left to go on the clock here before halftime. 1st down and 10 from the 33. Here's the fake to Thaxton. Jacobson will keep it. Hops through a tackle. He's in the 2nd level. Now angling out left-hand side. And will be finally taken down by 2 Lions at the 25-yard line. Gain of 8 by Gannon Jacobson. He is just so crafty in space.
Yeah, he's a patient runner. You know, that's come to accustom really to everybody carrying the ball tonight. You know, when the hole's not there, you kind of wait for it to develop.
To the 27-yard line. We'll call that a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3. End around fake to Thaxton. Jacobson over the middle of the field has a wide open receiver. It's going to be caught. Turning, looking to the end zone, and finally scoring. Southeast of Saline, Caden Berrigan, as he gets his first catch on the varsity field and his first varsity touchdown.
And let me tell you about that route that Berrigan just ran. A good job, kind of hesitated, blocked, waited for that linebacker to get out, and just released right up the middle of the field, was able to make the catch close to going down about the 5-yard line, but able to power through in for that touchdown.
Caden Berrigan, his first touchdown. That was a layered route there. There was another receiver for Southeast in the area, and Berrigan was the recipient of the target for Gannon Jacobson. Here's a fake by Jacobson. Now back of the end zone. Thaxton going up, trying to make another highlight catch, and he can't as he runs out of space in the back corner. But another touchdown here for Southeast of Saline as Caden Berrigan gets his first varsity touchdown. Also a touchdown there for Jacobson in the air game. Brings us to a 44-7 score. 1:12 left to play here in the 2nd quarter. Back with more Trojan football after this on KINA.
Crucial. Hours are precious to minimize the mess and damage. That is where Salina Septic Service looks out for you with direct access to their dispatch board, so you can schedule the first available appointment. Upload pictures and description of your problem on the Salina Septic Service website and secure your appointment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Money-saving specials now and information on worry-free service plans when you visit salinasepticservice.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School. 27 yards on the touchdown throw. Gannon Jacobson at that time to Caden Berrigan. First touchdown throw for Jacobson as a varsity quarterback, and the first varsity catch for Berrigan here in this 2024 season.
Quick look at the scoreboard. Halftime scores in Clay Center. Clay Center 20, Abilene 0.
Of course, the Tigers will be the host for Southeast of Saline next Friday night as we will travel there. Clay Center will be good again. They were very good last year. They will be good again this year. And I imagine there's probably a little bit of angst for the Tigers as they look at the purple of Southeast of Saline, knowing they debuted a brand new stadium last year, and Southeast of Saline went in there and beat them in that stadium. Of course, we'll have that game for you here on KINA and also live stream video on Salina Post. Here's the kickoff from Minneapolis. The return man fell down, then got back up and started a run. And he will come out and cross the 25-yard line.
I mean, he was clearly down right in front of me, almost both knees hitting the ground. But nonetheless, good coverage right there by Southeast to see if they can hold him out for this last 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Minneapolis will start at their own 27-yard line. 67 seconds left to go. And the score with Southeast of Saline leading here, 44-7. Two wide receivers to the right and a stack of 3 skill players to the left. Owen Just wants to throw, looking down the left-hand sideline. Now he's going to retreat and put it over the middle of the field, and it's going to be caught right in the middle of the field. Another good catch by Joseph Wool, and that's of 9 yards. Boy, when Owen Just has some time and finds his man, Russ, he throws bullets.
Yeah, it's comes out of Owen Just's hand quick, just on a frozen rope to his receivers. So not a lot of time to throw the ball, but a good job right there.
That's the third catch of the quarter for Joseph Wool. He has 3 catches for 31 yards. That one went for 10 yards. Incomplete pass here for Minneapolis. 9 for 17. A little over 50% for the Lions in the passing game. They're switching some guys in and out here. First down and 10. Out to the 37. Back to the line of scrimmage here. Just looks over his formation. Guy in motion, working from far side to near side. Just wants to roll out, and he's going to throw this one out of the outstretched arms that time of Zach Nelson. Incomplete.
And now you're running into that danger. You got 3rd and 10 now, a little under 38 seconds left. You throw it here incomplete, you're going to have to kick it back. I've already seen one special teams return for a touchdown, so the defense needs to stand up right here, get this 3rd down, get off the field.
3rd down and 10 for the Lions, their own 37-yard line. Again, 3 skill players out to the left. 1 receiver by himself to the right. They're going to run the sweep around on the right-hand side. It's going to go for a gain of 6 yards to Brayton Peters. That's his first rush of the night. And a Southeast of Saline timeout as they take their first timeout of the night. So they will stop the clock here after a gain of 6 for Southeast of Saline on that end around. Southeast burns their first timeout, and they will get it stopped with 30 seconds left to go here in this quarter. Want to remind you, don't forget, coming up quick is the Gypsum Fall Festival that's coming up on October 19th. Just a few of the things to mention: a vendor fair, motorcycle show, have inflatables for the kids, or the adults, I guess, if you're into that kind of thing. Parade and more. Don't forget to go to the Gypsum Valley Booster Club on Facebook and see a full schedule of all the events going on October 19th in Gypsum.
Devin, we get down to wind down this first half. Really kind of a revamped offense a little bit. Obviously a new guy at the helm. Your thoughts overall, what do you think of the offense in this first half?
I think the running game looks great. Obviously there are some things that need to be worked on in the passing game, but you're not only dealing with a first-year starter at quarterback, you're also dealing with several new receivers as well. So, Gannon has been a 2-year starter on the JV, and he is going to get some things going his way. Of course, there are going to be some good defenders like Mason Smith that he's going to get on the road through this season that he's going to have to deal with. And so far tonight, Mason Smith for Minneapolis has 2 interceptions. But other than that, I think they've played well. I mean, they looked pretty good for the first 2 quarters of the season. Here's a little screenplay out to the left-hand side. Speaking of Mason Smith, he has it now on offense as Minneapolis tried to go for it, and they're actually going to lose a yard on this screenplay. So Southeast of Saline will take over here on a turnover on downs.
And Mitch Gebhardt calling that timeout to stop the clock right there, and your defense comes up with a stand on 4th down. Maybe you let this kid throw the ball a little bit, try to get comfortable back there.
2 timeouts for Southeast of Saline. They have 43 yards in front of them, and Gannon Jacobson's going to empty the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the left. He has 2 to the right. Jacobson in the shotgun. Little screen play out right-hand side. Gebhardt has blockers out in front. Grady Gebhardt tucks it. He is still running. Now he angles to get out of bounds. And you just see the intelligence of Grady Gebhardt that time, getting out of bounds at the 29-yard line after a gain of 14. That'll move the chains and stop the clock.
What was the comment you made? Coach's kid, knowing smart, knowing what to do in situational awareness?
That's what it reminds me of. At the 29, 1st down and 10 again, empty backfield. Jacobson fakes the screenplay. He wants to go deep, up for a jump ball, and it's going to be Thaxton on the sideline, but he can't haul it in. Over there to break it up was one of the Minneapolis defensive backs, and he will go over and get that football off the track. That was Zach Nelson that came over and took that ball out of the air and knocked it away incomplete.
We've said it 2 or 3 times now. These defensive backs for Minneapolis running right with these Southeast of Saline receivers and staying right with them step for step.
2nd down and 10, still 13.8 seconds on the clock. Stick with us here at the end of the half. We'll have Mitch Gebhardt as he goes to the locker room. Jacobson back to pass over the middle. There's Thaxton. Thaxton's wide open. He gets stuck inside of the 15-yard line. He made it to the 14 and gains 15 yards, and Southeast of Saline will stop the clock once again. A 15-yard pitch and catch from Jacobson to Tucker Thaxton. 3 catches in the first half here for Thaxton, has 37 yards. And the football now sits at the 14-yard line with 7.8 seconds left to go after the gain of 15.
So still with 1 timeout in your pocket, how well this running game has been. I mean, I still think you got to stay with Gannon, get him a little comfortable back there, maybe get him some of those easy completions, that we've seen in the middle of the field, maybe a swing pass, swinging to the outside, but never really been in pressure at all. This offensive line just playing extremely, extremely well.
Not a lot of time here. You can go back and forth if you want to talk about timing. You do have a timeout left if you're Southeast of Saline, but only 7.8 seconds. They always say it takes about 6 seconds to run a play if you're quick about it, but I wouldn't really trust that. See what Southeast wants to do here. They might have 1 play to try to stick this one in the end zone right before halftime. Jacobson has Gebhardt off his right hip, and now it looks like Minneapolis is going to call a timeout. So Minneapolis will burn a timeout as well. We will keep it right here and await this next play. Every Friday night after we're done, we have the high school football scoreboard show. Comes down the network from Kansas Information Network. Eric Peterson is your host as you hear scores and game wraps from across the state of Kansas. Runs for a full hour from 10 until 11 o'clock. The Kansas High School Football Scoreboard Show right here on KINA, 910 AM, also 107.5 FM. You can also listen to the Scoreboard Show online at 910kina.com.
Another check of the scoreboard. Not really an area score, but a team in Class 2A that you and I kind of talked about. They went far in the playoffs last year, getting knocked out by Hoisington. That'd be Norton. Norton is up 36-0 on Oakley at the half.
Norton, a future opponent of these Minneapolis Lions. They are in the same district, are the Lions and the Blue Jays from Norton. Thank you, Russ, for that check of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Southeast now offensively on the field, 7.8 seconds left to go. First down from the 14-yard line. Jacobson takes the snap. Now looking to the end zone. Quick slant. He wanted Thaxton, it looked like, and that ball goes incomplete. Thaxton and Gebhardt in the same area. And I don't know that Thaxton and Jacobson were on the same page there.
That's too bad because Tucker Thaxton was wide open on that crossing route across the middle of the field. Coach Gebhardt's going to burn his last time out here to draw up your best play.
Good thing is it only took 3.5 seconds for Southeast of Saline. It was that quick of a play, so they will have a chance here to run 1 more play and see what they can do here right before half from the 14-yard line. Southeast of Saline got off to a quick start in this game. They scored 24 first quarter points. Then they quickly made it 30 in the second quarter before Minneapolis got on the scoreboard. Made it 30-7, and then 2 more touchdowns for Southeast of Saline. Brings us to our score of 44-7. Grady Gebhardt has been the offensive bell cow so far tonight. 13 carries. And Grady already up flirting around 200 yards rushing in this game. He has 3 touchdowns. Of course, the Southeast of Saline defense, other than that one big play by the Minneapolis passing game, has been stellar. So Southeast ready to go here. Last play of the half, barring a defensive penalty. Jacobson ready to go. Tight formation for the Trojans. Jacobson being rushed. He's going to have to throw it out here to Gebhardt. Gebhardt's going to be stuck right when he makes the catch at the 10-yard line and then gets tattooed, and they're going to have a defensive penalty here against Minneapolis. Grady Gebhardt, it looked like, was going down, and then he gets blindsided by a Minneapolis Lion. Russ, that was right in front of you.
Yeah, he was down right there. Maybe not totally down, but defenseless nonetheless. But now they're going to talk about it. And I don't know. I mean, he came in flying, and it was like a torpedo head first right into Gebhardt, and you called it right there. This will be the last play unless you have a defensive penalty. So, I mean, it could go both ways right now, and it looks like it's going to stick because they're going to count. They're pointing off how far this is going to be marked off. But what a shot that was, and Gebhardt pops right back up.
Grady made it to the 10. You hear the word in college football used probably too much of targeting, and I wouldn't call it that. I would call it malicious, though.
They did call it targeting.
Yeah, they are going to say targeting. And I don't know about that. It didn't look like that from here. You have a better angle than I do.
That targeting rule, is kind of, I hate to say there's a gray area because they say the crown of the helmet, but what exactly is that crown of the helmet?
Jacobson rolls out to the left-hand side. This time he's going to tuck it. Now looking, there's a flag on the play. It's probably going to go against Southeast of Saline, a jump ball in the back of the end zone, and that might be the end of the half as we have a halftime littered with penalties here. Jacobson was rolling out, kind of sidestepped a defender on that left-hand side, and then threw it to the back of the end zone. I'm going to guess maybe this is a penalty here on Southeast, as the official right now and one of the Minneapolis coaches talking about it.
There's a Minneapolis player down in the back of the end zone as well.
Okay. So they are going to check on him. It is holding against Southeast of Saline. And, of course, the penalty will be declined. And that will bring us to the end of the half. So we'll await the comments of head coach Mitch Gebhardt here on the field. Brought to you by Frisbee Construction, as Russ will hook up with Coach Gebhardt and see what he is thinking before we take a break here for halftime. Pretty good first half, though, really. 24 first quarter points. Big lead here for Southeast of Saline at the break of 44-7. As we get ready to hit halftime here, Wade Castleman sitting in my sidecar right now, ready to talk about cross country for Southeast of Saline. Their first outing was yesterday at Great Bend. Let's go down on the sideline here. Here is Russ along with Coach Gebhardt.
Coach, 44-7 first half. Obviously, probably not the start you're looking for on offense. Turnover, interception, end on downs, turn the ball over, but then start picking up and rolling. Talk about your offense first half.
Well, I agree. I felt like we were pretty choppy there to start out with, and our offensive line got the run game going, and we had 2 or 3 guys run the ball pretty well, and after you can do that, things start to flow a little bit better. Gannon's pushing things just a little bit right now. He needs to relax. He's trying to do too much, so we'll talk about that a little bit at halftime here and just kind of try to get him to relax a little bit.
Yeah, get him settled down a little bit, comfortable in the pocket. Your defense, that front line, 3 up front, moving them around, just playing absolutely impressive.
Yeah, they are. We thought that'd be a strength of us, and those 3 guys are good football players, and they're going to go hard. They got a motor. All 3 of them have a motor, and they're going to go hard.
All right, Coach, good luck second half.
Thank you.
Devin.
Thank you very much. Russ on the field with head coach Mitch Gebhardt as he goes to the locker room with a 44-7 lead. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will have Wade Castleman as we will talk Southeast of Saline cross country. Their first outing was yesterday in Great Bend, a brand new invitational for Southeast of Saline. We'll talk about it and see how that went as we go to halftime here. Halftime is brought to you by Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories. Get your truck and your ride accessorized right now at Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories. They're a proud supporter of Southeast of Saline athletics. 44-7 at the half. Wade Castleman when we come back here on KINA.
Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Kickoff Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Kickoff Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
For 40 years, Phillips Seed has delivered top-quality certified seeds. With wheat drilling season approaching, now's the time to reach out to Phillips Seed Farms for the latest variety options and tailored seed treatments. It's also the perfect opportunity to plan your corn hybrids and soybean varieties for the 2025 planting season. Visit PhillipsSeed.com, follow us on Facebook and X, or connect with a local seed dealer near you. Phillips Seed, serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
In the trenches and on the ground, that's where the game is won. Isaacson Truck Line is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. For local and long-haul service of freight and livestock, call Isaacson Truck Line, reminding you to have a safe Friday night on the roads. Wreak havoc, Trojans.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Welcome back here, halftime. Southeast of Saline leading over Minneapolis 44-7. An impressive rushing performance in the first half by Grady Gebhart. We'll have stats for you coming up here later in the half. But right now we will step away from football and we will talk about Southeast of Saline cross country. Wade Castleman joins us here in the booth. And, well, you guys already out and having action already, and the weather's cooled down just enough for you guys to kind of start. It's still a little warm in the sun, but not as bad as what it was last year at this time. I remember it was horrible last year when you guys got going, but a new invitational for you to start the season this year. You guys went to Great Bend yesterday.
We did. We got an early start to the season. It still ran on a Thursday, which was the first day we could compete, but the meet started at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it was nice and cool that yesterday morning when the kids ran.
Talk about your squad heading into this invitational and what you kind of saw through the offseason. I know you guys kind of go your own ways, and a lot of kids do their own things and compete in other ways and train in different ways, but when they come in, it's time to be Trojans once again. Talk about your squad first on the girls' side and what you see from them coming into a new season.
You know, the girls are coming off a great season last year, winning their fourth consecutive state title. And, you know, we have high expectations coming in. We thought we got quite a few people coming back off of last year's squad and everything, and due to some illnesses and decisions, some of them are not back this year. But you know, we have kids that are stepping up into those spots that we need filled. We're going to be extremely young once again. Callie Augustine's our only senior on the squad this year running for the girls, and you know, she's providing great leadership for these younger kids, and so it's going to be a process to get to where we want to be come November 2nd.
It's almost kind of fun sometimes to be one senior, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of like you're the team leader and they look to you for everything, and that's kind of a neat spot to be in. On the boys' side, you're young as well. I think only 2 seniors on your boys' team this year?
Yes, just 2 seniors on our boys' side this year. Jacob Toney moved into district this year. He's been homeschooled, and you know, he's stepping into a role. He was our number 3 runner yesterday. Great young man, very polite and everything, works hard, has a great work ethic, and is excited to be a Southeast of Saline Trojan.
That's great. So you go to Great Bend in an invitational that you take part in the first time. Of course, Great Bend, a bigger school. Did they divide this thing up into classes, or how was the structure of this?
So they had 2 divisions, a lower division for 1, 2, 3A, and then an upper division for 4, 5, 6. And I thought we were going to be in the 4, 5, 6, but I think I must have messed up or something when I said. And so we were in the lower division, but they still ran both divisions together, and we still ran very well yesterday. So I can't complain either way. I thought the kids got out there and competed. We learned a few things, and hopefully we learned from some mistakes that we made early in that meet.
Start with ladies first and your results there. I saw, I think, at the top of the leaderboard and the fastest time for Southeast of Saline was one of your freshmen.
Yes, Ava McGraw, freshman this year. She was in our junior high program and has worked hard in the off season, put in the miles, and you know, she's learning the system, and hopefully I think she's learning what we want and what we're expecting from her, and I think she's only going to get better throughout the season.
That's exciting. Team-wise, you were able in your division to get first place. And did you kind of stack that up, though, against the larger schools since you wanted to run against the larger schools? I think I saw that on your results sheet there. You kind of did a side-by-side, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. So they, you know, even though it was split out, they did merge on the results, and so we could see where we would have been. Our girls would have been 3rd overall behind behind Great Bend and Bishop Carroll, which have stellar programs, strong traditions and everything. And, our girls ended up third, and we were close to second place yesterday. So I was very pleased.
That's awesome. On the boys' side, a lot of familiar names that I'm used to seeing at the top of your times who had the best of times. Talk about your guys yesterday.
Yeah, Jacob Bircher was our number 2 runner yesterday. Braden Walker kind of picked up where he was during the season last year, except for at state. He won overall both classifications or both divisions yesterday. And the athlete that was second overall is from Holcomb, and he's who we will see later in the season. And Holcomb's the team to beat, I think, this year in Class 3A on the guys' side. And so it was good to see them early. We know that we need to pack closer together and try and split some of their runners up. I think they're a beatable team, but we just got to keep improving throughout the season.
It's kind of fun to get that early look at what you think will be your competition at the end of this thing, and kind of you always have that side eye looking that way and seeing who you're going to face down the stretch. It's kind of fun to see them early on, isn't it?
Most definitely. So, yeah, I mean, because they're watching us, and after the meet yesterday, our kids were talking to their kids, and we saw them last year at regionals and track and everything, or at state meet, and so the kids know each other better than I know those kids, and they talk, and social media, that plays a big role in it, and Kansas Mile Split does a good job posting stuff. So our kids know them very well, and so, yeah, it's fun to see them early in the season so we can see what we need to work on throughout the season.
So your next action now, after a great bend yesterday, next weekend you will go to Walmigo, and I know that's one of the favorite invitationals that you guys go to all year. It's a nice course. It's a competitive field. Yeah. Talk about Walmigo and what you expect next week.
So once again, we are definitely. I made sure I got us in the right division. We will be running in the 4A division next week.
Okay.
It's the first 2 races of the day, so again, it should be cooler temperatures and everything. Very challenging course. Difficult wise, it's probably similar to Rimrock, which is where the state meet is held. So, it'll be good for us to see that good competition, good footing on a good course, and hopefully we'll run some fast times. Last year, for a lot of our kids, that was our best performances time-wise for the season. So,
and odds are, no matter what the temperature is, the wind will be blowing about 20 to 30, right? I mean, Walmigo gets after it sometimes with the wind.
That's a strong possibility. So, yeah, last year, we were dealing with heat, and they moved the start up even earlier and everything. Yeah. And so we, it'll be an early morning for us leaving Southeast of Saline campus to get there. And I haven't checked to see if K-State has a home game so we can get through that road construction on I-70. But so it may be an early morning just to make sure we get through that. But, we're looking forward to it. The kids have been working hard up to this point throughout the season for the first couple weeks, and looking forward to it.
Pun intended, you are off and running for a new season, so congratulations on your first action yesterday.
Well, thank you.
Good luck at Walmigo next week. Can't wait to hear the results.
All right. Thank you, Devin, very much. I appreciate it.
Wade Castleman, head coach of the Southeast of Saline cross country teams, the men and women. They're off and going already. First place finishes yesterday in their division at Great Bend at the Invitational there. That was a new event for them. When we come back, we'll take a look at stats. Also have a check of scores across the Bennington State Bank scoreboard here on the campus of Southeast of Saline. 44-7, the Trojans leading Minneapolis here at the break. It's the Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories halftime show here on KINA.
Running out of time for laundry? Let Laundry Technicians of Salina help you. Our premier wash and fold service offers convenient same-day or 24-hour turnaround options. Simply drop off your laundry and pick it up fresh and folded, giving you more time for what really matters. Whether you're back from a trip, swamped at work, or caught off guard by an unexpected event, we've got your laundry covered. Visit Stella at Laundry Technicians in Craft Manor today and experience how we simplify your life one load at a time.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
Hey, Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maids strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here on the campus of Southeast of Saline, Devin Haney along with Russ Kossel here at halftime, brought to you by Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories. Good first half for Southeast of Saline, I think, as they spread it out to a 30-0 lead. They scored 24 points in the first quarter, and they just continued to go on after Minneapolis scored their first touchdown of the night. Minneapolis kind of got in a rhythm there, had one big play on their passing game, but their running game really hasn't been able to do much against this Trojan defense. Minneapolis with 115 total yards as we check the offensive numbers from the first half, brought to you by the Bank of Tesket. 115 yards total offense for Minneapolis here at halftime. They have negative 14 yards rushing, 129 yards passing. They had that big pass play of 65 yards for their lone score of the night. For Southeast of Saline so far, 227 yards on the ground. That's led by Grady Gebhardt's 183 yards on 13 carries. He has 3 touchdowns. Gannon Jacobson so far throwing the football, 7 of 15 throwing the football. And he has 90 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. His main targets so far, Tucker Thaxton, 3 catches, 37 yards. Also 3 catches for Grady Gebhardt for 26 yards, and a touchdown catch by Caden Berrigan of 27 yards, as Jacobson found Caden Berrigan there in the second quarter. 317 total yards of offense for Southeast of Saline in that first half of action. Take another timeout. When we come back, we'll check scores for you across the area on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. We will also have the start of the third quarter. It's a 1-minute break here on halftime, brought to you by Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories on KINA.
Stardust Trophy has been a family-owned business in downtown Salina since 1976. That tradition continues today. While Valerie and Wendell may be setting their sights on future vacations, Mallory is ready to serve you with a new name, products, and services. Stardust Awards and more. Personalized items and products for your office, business promotion, wedding, and of course, medals and trophies, plus so much more. Stardust Awards and more in downtown Salina since 1976, serving you at StardustTrophy.com.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Russ has been over here filtering through some of the area scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Russ, what do you got?
We'll start close to here. You know, in town in Salina, the Mayor's Cup, week 1 this year. Salina Central up 21-13 on Salina South at the half. Beloit 32, the Lions of Lions 0. Heston 21, Halstead 7.
Just got one. I don't know if you have it or not. Ellsworth 26, Sacred Heart 8.
I did not have that one.
That one just hit halftime.
El Dorado is playing Andale, who just seems to be good every year. 60-0, Andale right now at the half. Clay Center up 20-0 on Abilene. Pratt up 8-3 on Hoisington. Norton 36, Oakley 0, Haven 28, Hillsboro 7, Wamego 21, Concordia 0, and maybe the surprise score that I've not told you about yet, the perennial powerhouse in Class 2A, Nemaha Central, tied at the half with Marysville 8-8.
We were talking about that on the way in this afternoon. The Bulldogs have been building. They have a pretty good program up there. Nemaha Central going for a three-peat. They are two-time state champions. Maybe Nemaha Central not that far ahead of everybody else, and Marysville, give them credit as well. Here's the kickoff to start the second half. Southeast of Saline kicks it off. This is going to be a return off the left-hand side by Zach Nelson, and he is spun around and ended on that carry at the 20-yard line. What a big hit there. Excuse me, the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure who got there first, but getting up off the bottom of the pile might be the smallest guy on the field, Tiernan Potocik, coming up, flying down on the football. Good to see them young men get in there and get some playing time tonight.
Minneapolis looking for positive things here. They got some momentum going there at the second quarter in their passing game. They'll stack 3 skill players over to the right-hand side, and this play is going to be stopped before it starts here as they were trying to sweep.
And it was a good thing because Brayton Peters was about to get annihilated by Deacon Bear once again, running that jet sweep, and Deacon lining up, and that's going to be offsides on the defense.
Okay, wow.
Which blows the play dead, which I don't really think it was unevaded to the quarterback, but nonetheless, it brings up 1st and 5 now. And you talked about it, Devin. Southeast not very penalty-ridden tonight, which you would think you would see a lot in the first game of the year.
Yeah, so far clean. That last, 30 seconds of the first half was pretty sloppy on both sides. For the most part, Southeast has avoided a lot of penalties. Here's a run attempt off the right-hand side. And there's Deacon Bear once again. He was pegged in the pregame show. I'll ask Coach Gebhardt, give me a couple of names, guys that are just you're noticing a lot and we're going to be seeing and talking about a lot. And he led off with Deacon Bear. He said he just does everything right. He is quiet, but, man, he just goes about his job. And he is having a really, really good first game of the season here.
And I think the most important thing that Gebhardt said in your interview with him was he's kind of taken on that leadership role, put it on his shoulders to be the leader of this team.
No gain there for Minneapolis. Brings up 2nd down and 5 after that penalty to start this drive on Southeast of Saline. They're going to try a sweep to Peters over here on the right-hand side this time. And up high, it's Killian Vaughn. Down low, it's Bryson Lippold. What a two-team tackle that was as those guys team up low and high. Again, no gain that time for Minneapolis, who again has negative 14 yards in the rushing game.
And Bryson Lippold right there was blocked. He's kind of that guy you never know if he's going to blitz. He's playing both sides of the field, was blocked right there. And once again, just the stronger man wins, and Bryson Lippold happened to be that guy.
3rd down and 5. There's motion again for Minneapolis. A lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of misdirection, and it's going to be close to a 1st down. Taking the ball straight ahead that time was Mason Smith, and the referee coming in here to mark this football right at the 40-yard line, and it's going to be a 1st down here for the Minneapolis Lions. Gain of 5 that time for Mason Smith.
Yeah, a little counter trap play right there. Good job. Got the offense, got everybody flowing to the near side of the field, and Mason Smith cut that one back up the middle and got just the yards he needs, and 1st downs have been hard to come by for this Minneapolis Lions offense.
Lions break the huddle. They come up to the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line, 1st down and 10. Skill players again littered on the right-hand side for the Lions. It's a long, extended handoff, and that just took too much time. In there, once again, Deacon Bear. He had company with him, but he was the first one that snuffed it out and ended that play. It's a 5-yard loss.
Deacon Bear's playing nose guard with the speed of a cornerback. That is a scary, scary combination to have, and he's not a big guy on the field. Listed at 175 pounds, playing nose tackle and just doing whatever he wants with this offensive line.
We had so much fun watching Josiah Monday play. It just seemed like his timing, his ability to get in the backfield and just wreak havoc last year for Southeast of Saline. And you wonder, how am I going to replace a guy like that? And you don't replace him, but boy, Deacon Bear, you just kind of see that in him, don't you? Here's a ball that's sidearmed this time by Owen Just across the middle of the field. That's going to fall incomplete and bring up 3rd down and 15. You can see the training, the preparation. You can see a lot of what Josiah did rubbing off on Deacon Bear.
And that's exactly who he reminds me of, Josiah Monday, and you mentioned it, just in the backfield. seeming like every play we were calling his name, number 50 last year, but Deacon Bear has got a lot of similarities. Maybe doesn't have the height, probably close to the same weight. You know, Josiah wasn't a big guy that you would consider an offensive lineman either, and really neither is Weller. But when you got Weller and Chambers on the outside and you can put Deacon Bear up the middle, deadly combination.
Josiah presented us with a lot of Manic Mondays.
That is correct.
Here is Just back to throw. Has some time. He's going to sidearm this one down the middle of the field. 3 Trojans in the area that time as they were shadowing the intended receiver on the play, and it's going to fall incomplete as Owen Just 2 pass attempts so far here in this second half have gone incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down and at 15. Boy, what a great halftime, huh? We talked to Wade Castleman about another successful outing for Southeast of Saline Cross Country. Shauna Smith was up here. Got to talk to her a little bit. And also Wayne Sager, former AD here at Southeast of Saline, came up and said hi as well. What a cool halftime that was.
It's just everybody is involved in every sport around here at Southeast of Saline.
Saw new head basketball coach Francis Flax here as well. Watching Trojan football. Here's a almost block of this punt, and wondering it on the grabbing it on the run, I should say, is Gebhardt. Here comes Grady across midfield. He's going to be ankle tackled as he crosses the 45-yard line down at the 44. Boy, that one could have been dangerous for Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's not the guy you want catching it on the run almost at full speed, and Brayton Peters right there might have saved what could have been a lot worse than what it was.
So Gebhardt to the 44 on a good return. Southeast of Saline will start out here in Minneapolis territory. 9:01 left to go here in the third quarter as we are just underway here early second half. Pistol formation. Jacobson will turn, give it to Gebhardt. Here goes Grady again. Sprints out to the right-hand side. 35-30. Ditches around another would-be tackler, and then he's ran out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 17 for Grady Gebhardt on first down.
And you notice that Grady hits the hole and then stretches that thing out, where last year we would have seen him just put his shoulders down and run right up the middle. Now with that speed burst, he can get to the outside, but it's almost like there's a wall on the out-of-bounds line. He is not going out of bounds. He will turn back into the field.
Unofficially, 200 yards now for Gebhardt. Here's the end around. Thaxton gets around one tackler, gets through another tackler, and all the way down to the 21-yard line. Should have lost 5. He ends up gaining 6. And a crafty run by Tucker Thaxton on his second carry of the night.
Yeah, just never give up by anybody who is carrying the ball for this Southeast team. Just always the wheels are turning, and as soon as he had that tackle, his head was turned around to look upfield to see where he could go next.
2nd and 3, football setting at the 22-yard line. High snap, Jacobson taps it down, hands it to Gebhardt. Gebhardt gets inside of the 15-yard line, and he's going to be brought down at the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 8 for Grady Gebhardt. Now 208 yards on the night.
And a high snap, and maybe in the first half, and you heard when I was talking to Mitch Gebhardt at halftime, he said, and he needs to settle down a little bit. You wonder if that high snap in the first half, maybe the jitters showed poise right there to bring the ball down, get it in Grady's gut, and Grady to get up for a first down.
First down and 10 at the 14-yard line for Southeast of Saline. They pitch it out left-hand side. Thaxton curls around a would-be tackler and a Lion, and then it goes down and gets pushed out at the 2. 12 yards inside of the Can-Equip red zone on the pitch and catch from Jacobson to Thaxton, and they're knocking on the door to score once again. It's first down and goal.
And I know we're up here and Mitch Gebhardt's down there, but how do you not give the ball to number 30 right here with 2 yards to go?
He's already got 3 tutties. He might get 4. It's first down and goal here at the 2-yard line. And here's Gebhardt. Has to spin out of a tackle. He refocuses and gets to the goal line, but does not get in the end zone. 1.5 yards that time for Grady Gebhardt.
And do the same thing. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hand the ball off, run right up the middle, right behind this offensive line. That I just don't think we talk enough about throughout the years is how well they've always had skill position players here, but how well these front 5 do year after year after year.
Well, they love stretching out the defense, too, down here at the goal line. Let's see what they want to do here. Jacobson already has 1 rushing touchdown. Here's Thaxton coming around. He has to sidestep it back inside, and he dives across the goal line. Had a tackler come in, tried to force him back inside. Tucker Thaxton said, I will gladly go back inside, and scores his first touchdown of the season. It's a rushing touchdown from 1 yard away.
And it's just the situational awareness by whoever is running the ball ball, and I've said that multiple times tonight, but how smart these guys are. Knew he couldn't stretch that one out. Plants that right foot, goes right upfield, as now Gannon Jacobson's going to take the snap.
Jacobson will be stood up, and he will not be able to score here midway through the third quarter.
Brody Chambers had a guy buried underneath the goalpost there for about the third time tonight.
7:02 left to go here in the third. 50-7 Southeast of Saline gets the first score of the second half. Back with more Trojan football. It's presented by our friends at L&L Advisors.
This is Angela Gephardt, proud wife of Southeast Saline head coach Mitch Gephardt. Just like the Trojans strive for excellence on the field, the Bank of Tesket goes the extra mile to offer top-notch checking accounts that fit your style. Whether you're managing your day-to-day expenses or planning for the future, our checking accounts are easy, convenient, and tailored for you. Plus, with your local roots and friendly service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Go Trojans!
Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Welcome back to the stadium. It is a community night out on a Friday night here in Gypsum on the campus of Southeast of Saline, thanks to Phillips Seed Farms. They wanted to make it happen, wanted to do something special for the folks of Minneapolis and Southeast of Saline, so they bought everybody's ticket to the game tonight. Want to thank them for being involved in high school sports and supporting area youth. Phillips Seed Farms. They have a hunting division that is also very, very good. It promotes the conservation, and they have nice livestock feeders and wildlife feeders and things like that. Phillips Seed Farms always supporting the outdoors. Love those guys. Here's a kickoff here. Malachi Hopkins. That thing's going to twist and turn. That's a bullet, and it's going to run out of bounds. It's too bad. He's going to pay the price here because that thing was cruising down inside of the 10-yard line, but eventually went out of bounds. Nice heady play there, too, by the Lions. Zach Nelson, he just went ahead and watched that go out of bounds to get himself a few bonus yards on the back end as they're going to bring this football out and place it here at the 35-yard line. So good job there by Minneapolis. Bullet kick there by Hopkins, but it goes out of bounds, and Minneapolis will have good field position here. How about the night by Grady Gebhardt on offense so far tonight? Unofficially, Russ, 16 carries, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I mean, I don't think you can ask for a better start to the season than what Grady's had, but I'm sure if you went and talked to him right now, he would give all credit to that offensive line that has been there for him all night.
Here's first down by Minneapolis. It is Mason Smith, and Smith runs hard up to the 39-yard line. Gain of 4 on that play. Smith, 9 carries for 1 yard so far tonight. It's been tough in there.
I mean, it's really been tough all over the field. They had an energetic start when they get the interception, and then they have to punt, and then Southeast turns it over on downs. You're thinking, oh, what's going to happen here? And that was all she wrote there.
Minneapolis again right up the gut, and another hard run that time by the Lions. Mason Smith.
Yeah, Mason Smith just went for about 7-8 yards right there, and he's almost now at double-figure carries, but for only 7 yards.
Nice carry there. Good contact also with Malachi Hopkins, who came in from his defensive back spot. Smith will tote it again, and another 5 yards, make it 6 as he comes across midfield to the 49-yard line.
And you're going to get a stop and play right here.
Maybe one of the linemen from Minneapolis. Always a time of year, even though it is nice and cool. Boy, it is beautiful right now. That breeze blowing 5 to 10, and it is nice. Down around 70 degrees. And you always wonder, though, about cramps, right? I mean, early on here, you've been practicing in hot weather, and you seem like you're conditioned, but nothing can simulate game time here as we have a Lion down on the field, and they're trying to stretch him out. Looks like Zach Nelson and his teammates going to do most of it here.
Yeah, another score update. Never want to look ahead, but 5:57 left to go here in the third. Next week's opponent, Clay Center, has put another touchdown on the board. At the end of 3, are up 27-0 on Abilene. The War on 24, which is week 1 this year, Rossville up 13-10 on Silver Lake at the end of the third quarter.
A couple of things to fill you in on Phillips Seed Farms, things you may not know that are interesting and that I think is really cool about Phillips Seed Farms. They have locations, of course, in Abilene, Assyria, and also Tesket. They have fall cover crop You get your turnips, radishes, oats, all at Phillips Seed Farms. And, of course, that wildlife side of things. The Fall Wildlife Plot Seed, complete source for deer feed and minerals, hunting blinds and feeders, deer mineral blocks, and dispensers, along with mineral tubs, all available at Phillips Seed Farms. You can get more information on phillipsseed.com. Once again, they bought everybody's ticket tonight for this game. Player from Minneapolis is up, makes his way to the sideline, 2nd down and 4. They will run it again as they are force-feeding the running game right now. This handoff goes to Joseph Wool, who will plunge ahead for 2 yards.
Yeah, and on that last injury timeout, most defenses would think, oh, good, I can get a break. But there was one not-so-happy head coach wearing purple down there. It was probably not a good time after those last 3 or 4 running plays right up the middle for positive yards, and a much better job right there. Deacon Bear had much better penetration than he had the last 2 plays where Mason Smith was able to get first downs.
3rd and 3 for the Lions. They're at midfield here, just stuck it into southeast of Saline territory at the 48. Here's the fake handoff on a play action. High ball that's going to be brought in for the first down for the Lions. Nice grab that time up above his helmet by Grant Rice. The 6-footer was able to bring that one down and get a first down for the Lions from Owen Just.
Yeah, and a good job right there by Grant Rice to go up and high point that football. Kind of snow-coned it a little bit, but was able to bring it back down. And this has got to be maybe the second series where they've crossed midfield and ran plays in the opponent territory.
Yeah, good-looking drive by the Lions. 3 guys kind of stacked up on the left-hand side. They're going to turn and give it off this time in the backfield. Another running play here by the Lions. This one's going to go to Braden Johnson, a sophomore. Good-sized kid is Braden Johnson, 6 foot, 160 pounds. That's his first carry of the night. Goes for about a half a yard.
Oh, update from Chapman, Smith Center. And Chapman now has taken the lead 10-8 with 1:56 minutes left as a snap goes over the head of the punter out the back of the end zone.
Okay. 2nd down and 10. Play action. Just thought he had time. He does not. Deacon Bear comes in. They're going to have a flag on this play. This might be some incidental face mask here contact as Deacon Bear was the first one in. Brody Chambers was the second one in.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to have, a face mask right there. Just kind of unfortunate going high, and Owen Just is going down, and you just kind of get stuck in a bad spot. But that'll be a 15-yard penalty, and they'll march this thing all the way down to probably the 25-yard line, 24-yard line.
You always hate to see that, too. You're doing your job as a defense, and, man, you're going in to tackle a player who kind of folds up on you, puts his head down where your arms are coming in. You can't avoid the contact. It's nothing malicious, but all these face masks here that we see are 15 yards, and that's really going to help out this Minneapolis drive. Pushes the lines down to the southeast of Saline 25-yard line. Here's another run to the right-hand side. Mason Smith has this one. This one will go for no gain.
Yeah, they're going to give him about a half a yard, maybe a yard right there. But he thought he had an opening, and Grady Gebhardt filled that hole extremely fast and brought the thump with it, and a good open field tackle by Grady Gebhardt on Mason Smith.
Second down and 9. Just throws the screen play out. It's going to be caught, and another first down here as the screenplay went out to Ethan Bull. And now he is down after the tackle. And we'll have another stoppage in play. We'll have to see how he is. That was a nice little play there. Kenyon Douglas came up, read that play, but it just kind of got by him too quick. He wasn't able to react and be in the right spot at the right time for that one. As the football now is all the way down to the 12-yard line. It's a 13-yard play on that screen play as Bull remains down. We'll just have to see what is going on with him, of course. The Salina Regional Health Center, orthopedic sports medicine trainers on site as they are at all high school games here with southeast of Saline. They'll be out and check on him, and they don't seem too concerned about him. He might have got the wind knocked out of him or something incidental that he's on his knees talking now to the trainer and also one of his coaches. So hopefully he will be okay.
The trainer's been busy over here on the sideline late in that first half when I was down there on the field. about every offensive possession when Southeast would come out, Grady was hitting the ground and getting those legs stretched out a little bit. As you talked about it, unofficially over 200 yards in week 1. So this offense doing a great job, defense playing extremely, extremely well. And this front three, 3.5, if you want to throw Bryson Lippold in there, whether he's that kind of disguise guy, if he's blitzing or not, but a great job all around tonight by Southeast.
Want to remind you that Salina Regional Health Center is hiring for all positions. If you want a list of open positions and maybe check out your new career with Salina Regional Health Center, you can do that a couple of different ways. srhc.com on their website, or call Human Resources and talk to Tess Madro. She'll be more than happy to hook you up and see what interests you in a new career with Salina Regional Health Center.
Update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Out in Pratt, the Greenbacks are now up 24-3 on Hoisington.
First down for Minneapolis. Football sitting at the 13-yard line. Here's the snap back to Owen Just. He's going to go over the middle, and it is caught and held onto. A big hit by Gannon Jacobson, but a good completion, and it goes to Brayton Peters for 13 yards. His second touchdown of the night for the Lions.
And this passing game has looked impressive. As the Minneapolis coaching staff super upset. I don't know if they thought maybe Gannon had some sort of bad hit, but they kind of went chest to chest right there. So I don't know what he's upset about. But this passing game for Minneapolis has looked fairly well. Owen Just looks very comfortable. Not comfortable running for his life, but comfortable throwing the ball when he has time, doing a great job, as now they're going to send out the extra point attempt.
So they will kick it and try to go for one, as they did on their first score of the night. Owen Just. That time, Brayton Peters. Their second hookup of the night. Extra point pending. The kick is up, and it is through these tall uprights here at Southeast of Saline. Another touchdown for the Lions as they go down the field. 3:03 left to go here in the third quarter. 50-14. Southeast of Saline still in control of this one right here on KINA.
Visit Suburban Appliance Center in Salina to see the Whirlpool washer with 2 ways to wash, thanks to the 2-in-1 removable agitator. With a flexible capacity, you can take the agitator out for bulky loads or keep it in for items like jeans. Shop now at Suburban Appliance Center and get twice the washer you have at home. Suburban Appliance Center in Salina, located at 1900 South 9th Street, or check them out at suburbanappliancecenter.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Football on KINA.
Nice little drive there by the Minneapolis Lions as they're able to go down the field. Got a penalty in there on Southeast of Saline for a personal foul face mask. End up with a 13-yard pass play. Owen Just to Brayton Peters. That's the second time they have hooked up tonight for a touchdown.
A 10-play drive right there by Minneapolis. Good, solid drive. Obviously this game, still time left, a whole nother quarter to play, 50-14 right now. But maybe a little confidence right there for Minneapolis.
Checking some scores here. 21-13, Salina Central leading over Salina South at halftime. Salina Central in that first half, 7 unsportsmanlike penalties called on them in one half.
Rivalry game?
Rivalry game. 7 on Central, 1 on South.
Wow.
A 1-score game as the Mayor's Cup goes to halftime.
Clay Center's added another touchdown, 34. Abilene scored 7 now.
Get ready. We're going to hear a name quite a bit next week. It's Cole Pladson. The junior quarterback last year returns this year. He is a Division I prospect with baseball, but he is a very good football player as well. They got some guys coming back off that squad that was very, very good last year. Here's the kickoff for Minneapolis. Southeast of Saline will take over. Now 3:03 left to go, 50-14. Southeast of Saline leading here in the third quarter. As Southeast of Saline will take over here, looks like the football will be spotted at the 23-yard line.
Looks like Garrett Kuhn now in the game at right tackle. Saw him in there towards the end of the first half.
Here's a penalty flag that flies. It will hold this game up, or this play, I should say. Thaxton was split out left on this play. Berrigan out to the right. So we continue to have scores coming in on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Chapman 10, Smith Center, you passed that along. An interesting note on Chapman, they changed coaches this year. Jason Greider, who Southeast fans will remember, he used to be the coach at Halstead. Left Halstead, went and coached in the KCAC for a couple of years, and he has taken the job at Chapman. That was vacated when Kurt Webster left.
That was a busted play right there, kind of just all over the place, and Gannon kind of found Brody Chambers and just ran behind him as Brody just absolutely buried yet another Lion on defense.
8 yards for Gannon Jacobson. 5 carries for him, 40 yards. So he's right on his average of 8 yards a carry. Brought it out, got the penalty yardage back, plus 3 more. Made the line of scrimmage now the 25. Here's some misdirection. Gebhardt in the second level again, taking Minneapolis defensive backs for rides. Now he breaks out to the right, 50, 40. Gebhardt on his horse, inside the 20, inside the 10, running away for his 4th touchdown of the night.
75-yard touchdown by Grady Gebhardt was met 10 yards after they're fully wrapped up. Just a bigger man won that battle as Coach Grady's down on all fours, out of gas, obviously, now coming out. But once again, the hole you could drive a bus through by this offensive line, and then they drive a Mack truck through it that runs over the safety, spins out of it, outruns the whole defense, as now Malachi Hopkins is going to come on to kick the extra point.
You cannot arm tackle. You cannot halfway tackle. You cannot half-heartedly tackle Grady Gebhardt. He will run right through you, go through your face, and end up in the end zone. 75 yards there. That's his 4th touchdown of the night. And his first start at tailback, 284 yards. The kick is up and good. 1-on-1 on the kicks for Hopkins so far this season. Let's take another break. 2:42 left to go in the third quarter. 57-14. Southeast leads it on KINA.
Looking for a local brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and in the Central Mall, Salina, and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here, southeast of Saline. Big run by Grady Gebhardt, 75 yards. As he gets his 4th touchdown of the night. Extra point by Malachi Hopkins looked pretty good for us. He had some pop in that.
Just saw him warming up, working on extra points, and he was kicking them well into the track on the south end of the field by the scoreboard. But, Grady, pushing in over 250, 70-plus yards. This offensive line, I'm going to go back to it, just creating holes you can drive through.
Unofficially, 284 on the night for Grady Gebhardt.
Central now up 28-13.
Here's a sidewinding kick by Hopkins. He's going to angle this one left. Nelson will take it inside the 15-yard line. He'll come now back to the middle of the field, and he stood up as he crosses the 20. Forward progress will take him to the 23. Boy, there is some hitting going on with the special teams. That always reminds us of our Salina Pain Clinic hit of the night. And we've seen several of them here, and I think most of the hits have been on special teams.
Yeah, they're just flying down there. And when you get guys that can buy in on special teams and just run down there like your hair's on fire, but yet be disciplined enough to break down and make the tackle, just a great job all around tonight by Southeast.
Owen Just brings his offense back out. Nice drive for the Lions on their last possession. Ended up with a touchdown pass. This give is going to be to Nelson on the end around, and Zach Nelson was kind of stuck in the backfield there for a while, but he ended up making his way back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. His first carry here in the second half.
Yeah, Long run, probably ran 15 yards right there, but Southeast stringing that thing out to the sideline, and a good job of coming up and making the hit.
Second down and 10. Southeast defense has remained pretty much intact tonight. There hasn't been a lot of rotating as those guys are working on their bond and they're gelling. Here's a pitch out. This is going to be to Smith, and Smith is contacted at the line of scrimmage but ends up surging ahead, and he's going to gain 4 yards on that play. Nice little carry there by Mason Smith.
Yeah, and Tucker Thaxton probably is not going to get any credit for that, but doing exactly what you're supposed to do from that cornerback spot. Go up, take that lead blocker on, make Smith cut back to the middle of the field where the rest of the purple jerseys are at. So a good job right there by Tucker Thaxton.
Third down and 6 for Minneapolis. They're going to try to run it off to the left with a stretch play, and Malachi Hopkins came in from his defensive back spot and got a really aggressive tackle there. Gain of 1 there that he held Smith to on that play.
Yeah, and a really good open field tackle by Malachi right there. Really impressed with that young man. You know, this game, obviously his first start out there, really, you know, getting the varsity action last year in blowouts, but doing a very, very nice job on that far cornerback spot.
Fourth down and 5 now for Minneapolis. Offense has a long stare over to their sideline. They are back deep in their own territory here. They're sitting with the line of scrimmage at about the 29-yard line. Those are the football actually sitting on the 30.
And it looks like they're going to call a timeout.
They will. They'll take it down to 1 second. They'll call a timeout. We'll step aside, a 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this timeout here on KINA.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for rural property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at Salina Homes.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Timeout here, seeing what Minneapolis wants to do for a 4th down and 5 back in their own territory at the 30-yard line. And Russ, you're checking scores with the Bennington State Bank scoreboard, and the defending champ in Class 2A has lost in Week 1.
Yeah, lost in Week 1, playing up a class, playing Marysville, losing 16-8. And I think that's Nemaha's first loss in 2 years.
I think they've gone undefeated the last 2 years, yep.
Yeah, and
state champions the last 2 years in Class 2A.
Chapman also coming away with the win against Smith Center 10-8 that we already mentioned.
Impressive there. Cade Haney with the winning touchdown run for Chapman. Had to mention that. Here's a sack on 4th down now for Southeast of Saline. Deacon Bear comes in there along with Drew Weller. And they combine on the sack. Killian Vaughn also in the area as well.
Yeah, there was a host of them back there, but Killian Vaughn really haven't called his name a whole lot tonight, but just doing a phenomenal job out there. Is this just the front three have really been putting in the work on this defensive side of the ball. Is now you're going to have new running back in the game.
Marion Hollub will be the running back. Gannon Jacobson stays in there at quarterback. Thaxton split out wide to the left. First down at the 20-yard line. That sack was a loss of 8 yards. And that one should have been an interception and a touchdown for Minneapolis. Jacobson threw a ball out to Thaxton, and there all over it was a Minneapolis defensive back, but couldn't complete the play.
Yeah, Bryson Lohnberger out there had a jump on it, and if he catches that, he's still running. Gannon kind of let that one go before Tucker was out of the break, and defensive back did a great job jumping the route.
Hollub still in there, pistol formation behind Jacobson. He will take his first carry off the left-hand side. Hollub with a sidestep, and Amarian Hollub will be into the end zone. His first carry and a touchdown for Southeast of Saline. What a carry by Amarian Hollub. His first varsity carry of 2024, and it's into the end zone from 21 yards out.
And let's go back to a year ago. We saw Amarian Hollub get in a few games, and we noticed that he had 12 carries, 109 yards, and 1 touchdown last year. And right now he's 1 for 1, 1 carry, 1 touchdown. And you and I kind of talked about it. There's something special brewing with that young man.
Mm-hmm. 16.5 seconds left. Watkins will try the extra point again. He punches it through. That extra point, Coach Gebhardt might have to look at that a little bit. I know he loves going for 2, but he's got a kicker here that can punch him through with Malachi. Another score for Southeast of Salina comes with 16.5 seconds left to go in the third. 64-14. Southeast leads it here on KINA.
40 years, Phillips Seed has delivered top-quality certified seeds. With wheat drilling season approaching, now's the time to reach out to Phillips Seed Farms for the latest variety options and tailored seed treatments. It's also the perfect opportunity to plan your corn hybrids and soybean varieties for the 2025 planting season. Visit PhillipsSeed.com. Follow us on Facebook and X, or connect with a local seed dealer near you. Phillips Seed, serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Marion Hollub gets his first carry of the varsity season here in 2024 and gets his second varsity touchdown of his career. 16.5 seconds left to go here in the third period. And a 50-point lead for Southeast of Saline. Boy, this rushing game for Southeast. I was just looking back here and thinking last year, pretty balanced attack in this game against Minneapolis. Actually, excuse me, no, it was not. It was run heavy last year, too. 310 yards rushing, only 54 yards passing against Minneapolis last year in week 3. They are well over 300 yards here tonight.
Yeah, and once again, you got to give credit where credit's due. And those 5 guys up front creating these holes for really Gebhardt, now Hollum, Thaxton, Watkins, everybody's getting a little piece of the pie tonight.
Here's the sidewinding kick. It bounces at the 30. Nelson's going to pick it up at the 15. Now come back at the 20. And now he's going down the right-hand sideline. Ran down, though, from behind and tackled there. Looks like Kenyon Douglas was able to run him down at midfield and tackle him as they crossed the 50-yard line. Good return there for Minneapolis.
Yeah, Caden Berrigan kind of ran down, didn't really break down to make that tackle, reached out, was unable to, but Kenyon able to run him down from behind, and now Minneapolis going to have good field position here at the 48-yard line of Southeast.
4.2 seconds left to go here in the third period.
Barring a score on this play, we potentially could have a running clock, as it looks like you're going to have a injured Minneapolis player over there, Zach Nelson, going down to a knee.
They're attending to Nelson. He came up a little bit funny, popped up after that kick return, and then went back down to a knee and tried to make his way over to the sideline, but he could not quite make it over there as he goes down to a knee now in the middle of the field, and they will check on him with the training staff from Salina Regional Health Center, Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. I want to remind you, Kansas Wesleyan football here on the airwaves tomorrow on KINA. You can join Tyler Henry and Brooks Garrettson for the call. They will be in Lindsborg for a late breakfast game. It's the rivalry between Kansas Wesleyan and Bethany College. Pregame will start here on KINA at 10 a.m. in the morning. Kickoff at 11 o'clock. It is the Coyotes trying to rebound from a Week 1 loss to a very good ranked Evangel team. Kansas Wesleyan will try to get back on the winning side of things and get their first win of the season against Bethany tomorrow in Lindsborg.
And that would be interesting to see, and I'm sure Tyler Henry's got this information, but I cannot remember the last time that possibly Bethany has beat Kansas Wesleyan in a football game.
Yeah, that's
I know when I was at Bethany, there was no shot. We were beating K-Dub.
Brings us to when the last time Minneapolis beat Southeast of Saline was.
I'm sure you have that information.
2012.
It's a couple years ago.
Minneapolis won 27-7 over Southeast of Saline back in 2012. That will not happen tonight as we are trying to round out the third quarter. Flags will fly here as Minneapolis runs a play from midfield. It looks like this may be a penalty to close out the quarter here on Minneapolis. We will sort that out, and then we will come back for fourth and final quarter action. We go to the fourth. 64-14, Southeast of Saline leads Minneapolis. Southeast of Saline Trojan Football on KINA and also on SalinaPost.com with live stream video brought to you by L&L Advisors.
Field court or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojans sports program.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Early seasons, some of these scores don't always indicate what the season's going to be for a team, but you got some interesting stuff you're going over there with Bennington State Bank scoreboard, don't you?
Yeah, we'll get to it after this play.
From the 43, it's first down and 15. Owen Just will keep the football, scramble straight ahead, and gain 4 yards on the quarterback run.
Yeah, the high-scoring affair that Southeast had with the Hoisington Cardinals last year, where Hoisington came out a 7-point winner, ending the Southeast season. Hoisington only puts up 3 points tonight, no touchdowns. They get a field goal, and they lose to the Greenbacks of Pratt 24-3. So now your state finalists have both lost in week 1.
The two teams that were in the state title game last year in Class 2A started out 0-1.
Yeah, in a foot of snow, mind you, in that game.
But also both playing up a class, so that does make a difference. Here's a run by Mason Smith over on the right-hand side. That'll go for about 7 yards. He continues to run hard. I'm impressed with Mason Smith. Let's get a chance to play up, you do it. Coach Gebhard will tell you that every day of the week, and Southeast will have that chance next week as they go to Clay Center to face the Tigers.
Yeah, and it was a game last year where Clay Center was stacked with talent and had never lost. They still haven't lost on that field, except for to the guys wearing purple. We'll try to get wholesale changes in here for Southeast of Saline and try to get some of these guys that are in there after this play.
Third down and 5 for Minneapolis. They're at the Southeast 48-yard line. Stretch play to Smith. He tried to cut it back, and he is tackled from behind for Southeast of Saline. Nice tackle there.
Yeah, Ian Nicholson coming up right there, making a real strong play. So it looks like you got Ian Nicholson out there, James Friesen as well on that defensive line. Lyric Lilly in there as well at a cornerback spot.
Tiernan Potocik in there at safety.
Trey Drogi in there on the defensive line.
Let's see here.
63. Got a timeout here. Minneapolis. Now it's going to be impossible to call these guys out as they're all in a huddle.
Yeah, Trey Drogi, you touched on him. I also saw, as you touched on, Lyric Lilly. He is out there. So, yeah. It's where you build your team, right?
Yep.
Southeast has been so good at doing this over the years. You get a run, you stretch it out, get a nice lead, and then put these guys in. And hopefully, if you're Southeast of Saline, these backups, these guys that are working for playing time, get a chance to go against the other team's first team for a little bit.
Tyler Bramblett out there as well. Omarion Holub still out there.
Garrett Kuhn, he's been in out on offense and defense so far tonight.
James Friesen out there trying to pump these guys up.
Caden Berrigan now takes over at a corner spot.
Jaden Kloster out there as well in a linebacker position. I think we got them all, Devin.
You know, it's week 1, baby.
We got it.
Fourth down and 7 for Minneapolis. Just throws back, drops back. He is under pressure, gets away from pressure. Now he's running, coming over to the sideline. He's going to run out of bounds and turn it over on downs at the 50-yard line. The first Trojan in there to get pressure on Owen Just and flush him out of the pocket was sophomore Jaden Kloster.
How about the closing speed right there by Garrett Kuhn? It looked like maybe he had a shot to turn the corner there. And then Garrett Kuhn coming around that outside, just able to shut him down. And now we're going to have wholesale changes on the offensive side of the ball.
Tristan Swank comes in on offense.
Alex Sawyers
on there as well. James Friesen will stay on the field for Southeast of Saline. Tiernan Potacek will take over at quarterback for the Trojans. Kason Clover is also in there.
Levon Hopkins in there at running back.
So a lot of new Trojans out on the field right now. Looks like maybe Eli Olander out, the wide receiver on the left-hand side. Nope, that is not him. That is actually Tyler Bramblett. So Levon Hopkins will get the first carry here, and it's going to lose a yard back to the 50-yard line for Southeast of Saline as we are playing with a running clock. So a quick fourth quarter here in week number 1.
Jared Friesen in there. Man, there's just Friesens everywhere here.
Yeah. We got to see all three of them in the same game last year. Remember that? That was awesome. We've had some of those moments here at Southeast. We had 3 Gebhardts in a game 2 years ago at Lions. We had all the Friesen guys in the game together last year.
So we got a freshman. He's not in the game, but another Care in there. Not in right now.
Yep. Isaiah had a good day yesterday running cross country. Isaiah Care for Southeast.
How about Southeast cross country? Just
unbelievable.
Just go out and just keep winning. We're just going to go out and win today.
3rd down and 9. Here's Tiernan Potacek. Rolls out to his left, dumps it off, and cannot complete the pass play that time. He was looking out in the flat to Lyric Lilly. And Tiernan's a lefty. He's comfortable rolling that way. He's a southpaw. So that is right in his wheelhouse, rolling out to that side. 4th down and 9 now for Southeast of Saline. And some of these backups in, getting some work here. Week number 1, Cooper Westhoff is out here on the right-hand side for Southeast at a wide receiver spot. Long stairs over here offensively. Trying to see what to do. That clock continues to run. It's a 50-point Southeast of Saline lead.
They're going to take a timeout right here.
Play clock all the way down to 1. And they'll just take a delay of game. They have not punted tonight.
They are now.
Now I wonder if that's what's up the sleeve here of Coach Gebhardt and this coaching staff. Remember, last year the punter who did not get a lot of work was Evan Watkins. And Evan is back. He will drop deep here for Southeast of Saline, and they will get a little bit of work here in the punt team.
I mean, why not? You got to get all aspects of the game out there.
Yeah, you haven't punted yet tonight. You got your extra point kicks in. You got your 2-point conversions in.
You haven't punted a lot in the last 3 years.
Yep. Low snap, about knee-high, though. Watkins will get it, and he uncorks a boomer of a kick that lands perfectly at the 15-yard line. Boy, that's a great kick there by Evan Watkins. Pinned him inside the 20, so give Evan his due on the punt game that time as he comes over and gets a couple of high fives as he hits the sideline. And Minneapolis will take over at the 15-yard line. Don't forget all the Week 1 action and some game wraps. We'll have you all updated starting at 10 o'clock tonight after the game right here on KINA. It's the Kansas High School Football Scoreboard Show. Eric Peterson will run down the line and go all across the state of Kansas. He'll have all the scores for you and some game wraps. A full hour of your recap from week number 1. High school football here in the state of Kansas. High School Football Scoreboard Show here on KINA. Shotgun formation here for Minneapolis. They have some of their backups in now as well. They try the sweep off the left-hand side, and that's going to be ended quickly here by this Southeast of Saline defense.
It looked like Caden Berrigan was the first one there from that cornerback spot coming up. Now you're going to get another shuffle on defense as Alex Sawyer's going to come in for Drogi.
Trey Drogi comes out. Droege will be a key backup this year. We'll see him rotating in, I imagine, on offense and defense on the lines. .505 left to go here, fourth quarter.
Looks like we've got another one getting ready to check in. Just ran over to coach.
Here's the end around this time. Little sweep play there by the Minneapolis Lions. That one went in the belly that time of Bryson Longberger, sophomore.
Now Kane Sawyer's coming into the game on defense. Ian Nicholson checking out. The first action for Kane this year. Kane just a freshman.
So there you go again. Couple Sawyers.
That's right.
Guys on the field together. How cool is that? Two receivers to the left. They're going to sweep this one off to the right-hand side. And this one's going to be stopped at the 25-yard line on the run. It's close to a first down for Minneapolis. Braden Johnson on the carry.
They are going to give him a first down.
Carry of 8 that time by Johnson. His second carry of the night.
Go ahead. Tristan Swank coming into the game. Garrett Kuhn checking out. Garrett getting a lot of action tonight. Also got checking into the game Adam Thiel.
There's a flag on this play for Minneapolis as they will have no gain on the play. Actually, 2 flags, one from the far side and one from the near sideline judges.
And you wonder if they either were lined up offsides or did not have enough. They were in the wrong formation. You know anything about illegal formation in the last 24 hours?
Ravens-Chiefs game last night on KINA. It looked like the Ravens had practiced illegal formations in the preseason. They had about a half a dozen of them in the first quarter. It was kind of crazy. Of course, we'll talk all about that game as the Chiefs and Ravens got us started with another NFL season. Well, the Chiefs Kingdom Show coming up here on KINA Monday night. Mitch Holtis and the gang will have an hour recap of what happened and what's coming up next. It's another big game at Arrowhead for the Chiefs. On next Sunday, they will play a 3:25 game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's Johnson again for Minneapolis, stepping through some traffic and getting back to the line of scrimmage. Clock continues to roll down here, 2:45 left to go in this game. Quick moving fourth quarter here with the continuous clock.
And you got, of course, the game going on Sao Paulo, Brazil tonight in the NFL with the 2 teams that wear green that weren't allowed to wear green. Packers leading that game, 9:13 left in the third, 26-24.
Oh.
Told you it was going to be a high-scoring game.
You
Don't
did.
doubt me, Devin
I do
Haney.
not. I don't ever. Wow. Okay. Did you find that score on Twitter?
No, I found it on ESPN.
Oh. Here's a screen pass out to the right-hand side. That one's played very well by this Southeast of Saline defense with the backups in there. They wreck it over on that side. Tyler Bramblett over there doing the work for Southeast of Saline. He also had Josh Watkins, the sophomore, along with him. It's third down and long for Minneapolis. Clock continues to roll. 1:49 left to go. Stay with us here in postgame. We'll have a conversation with head coach Mitch Gebhardt. Then we will also go over stats and take the last check of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Here's the run off the right-hand side. Back to the original line of scrimmage for Minneapolis. And that, once again, was Braden Johnson.
We'll get a quick step here in the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Final score, Heston beats Halstead 21-14. Haven beats Hillsboro 51-13.
That Heston-Halstead game is always interesting. Little rivalry there. And Halstead in district with Southeast of Saline this year once again. What a crazy turn for Southeast of Saline. You have it every 2 years where you can have major changes. New opponents, new district, all that stuff. Really nothing changed this year for Southeast of Saline other than Rock Creek off the schedule, Kingman onto the schedule. And we're pretty much, other than that change, playing the same teams at the same places that we did a year ago. We had Minneapolis at home last year. We're in the same district with the same teams as we were the last 2 years. We go to Clay Center again. We went to Clay Center last year. I mean, it's like it's carbon copy. There's not a lot of change, which is fine because there's been years where we've had change, and we end up in places like Colby in a different time zone. In Goodland. So I'm good with it. I love our schedule we've had the last 2 years. We'll get that schedule 2 more years for Southeast football.
And Southeast is either going to have to run. They won't run a play. They'll just take a delay a game right here and let the clock run out. They reset it anyway, so that'll be it.
That'll do it. Clock will continue to roll down here, and it'll be a 64-14 victory for Southeast of Saline. The Trojans come out in impressive fashion, and they get a 50-point win over Minneapolis. We'll step aside. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll check final numbers of this game. We'll also have an interview on the field as Russ Kossel will go down and visit with head coach Mitch Gebhardt. It's all coming up when we come back on the Commercial Tire Center's postgame report. Trojans win it here in week number 1, 64-14 over the Minneapolis Lions, right here on KINA.